Alright, there we go. And we should be live here on YouTube. Hopefully everybody's having a good day. We got ourselves the Daytona Duels here tonight. We have got ourselves two 60-lap races. We got top 10 starters for heat/duel number 1. We got Logano, Larson, Elliott, Dillon, Chastain, Gilliland. Basically everybody that qualified in an odd number spot here are in this duel, and then all the even number qualifiers like McDowell are in the next duel. So if you're a fan of one of those drivers, stay tuned. We will be doing both duels. Don't you worry. So I just gotta go ahead and share the stream real quick, and I will be right with you guys. But how's everybody's day going? Everybody doing pretty good, hopefully. So I put out a short reacting to McDowell's win at the, or not win, but getting on the front row there for the duel. So figure that'll be a fun thing for you guys. Alright, there we go. So we are there. I just need to copy the link to this. Also, the newest episode of the Lapdown podcast that I'm a part of on Wednesday nights, that was recorded last night after qualifying, is now up over on their channel. You guys can find that link in the description of this one for when the stream is over. Obviously, don't want you guys leaving yet, but figured I'd let you guys know that it is down there, so if any of you guys are interested in hearing me talk for more time about NASCAR, and hearing some thoughts from a couple of other friends throughout the NASCAR community, go ahead, click on that. We had a pretty good time last night, so, and they are actually just coming back from commercial break. Just perfect timing. Gotta love it. Alright, here we go. Click that link. Drop that, and alright, we got Harvick, Boyer, and Mike Joy in the booth. I have not actually gotten to listen to this booth yet, so let me know how you guys like the that booth, but yeah, I haven't gotten a chance to listen to it yet. Alright, there we go. Got that done. Now I just need to go ahead and share the link. But we are ready here, and hopefully you guys are excited. Also, quick, one last thing I want to plug before we get into all this is that if any of you guys are interested in supporting the channel and helping me be able to produce these kinds of things, there's a Patreon link in the description. Your name will get added to that scrolling banner. Alright, so here we go. They've got the cars, again, 250-mile races getting ready to go. Weather looks clear, unlike on Sunday where it looks like we may be fighting the weather to get going, so here we go. got that shared. Gonna pop out chat so I can actually read chat. Alright, there we go. We're all set and ready for this one. So how's everybody doing though? We got a decent amount of people hanging out already in chat. Hopefully you guys are excited for this one. I know I am. Alright, here we go. Alright, here we go. So, still a commercial break, so we have not missed anything, but yeah, here we go. So yeah, and in between heats, we are actually going to be having a friend of mine popping in here, so that'll be fun. But yeah, we'll be having some fun here. Hopefully you guys are going to enjoy it. Alright, so Chase Elliott in the first duel. That's going to be a fun one. Hopefully you guys are excited for it. Again, we'll be streaming both duels. No real break in between, so we'll just go straight from one to the other. But yeah, here we go. Let's see. I'm just going ahead and posting it around in a couple of groups. Alright, let's see. How's everybody doing, though? Who you guys all think is going to win the duels here? Let's see. I'm going to pull up another leaderboard so I can keep track on my own here. Let's see. So there is 2 Gibbs cars. So 2 out of the 4 Gibbs cars are in this field here tonight. And then the other 2 are in the later heat. Alright, there we go. Alright, here we go. So they're back from commercial break. They're talking with Chase Elliott. He doesn't have his helmet on, which tells me we're not going racing at any time hyper soon. Any like moment-to-moment decision here. Alright, here we go. Alright, there we go. how's everybody doing? Oh, and actually there are okay, so that must have been a pre-recorded segment because they got Joey Logano in his car and rolling. Okay, I was not ready for that. Just make one more post real quick, and then I'm gonna go ahead and share it on Twitter as well. But all right, they are doing the starting grid, so there we go. Row 2, Austin, Dillon, and Elliott. Larson and Logano on the front row. Curious to see what Logano does. Is he going to drop to the rear because he's already got the pole position, or is he going to intentionally maybe hang, or is he going to... So is he going to drop back because he's already got it, or is he going to try and hang at the front for a little while, maybe see if he can run up there at the front and front run for a bit? So there we go. Alright, here we go. Alright. So we're getting ready here. The other way to end up on that banner, by the way, is also to join. Anybody who joins as a new member will also get their name on that banner as well. So there we go. And JJ Yaley and is starting tail of the field. I was gonna say Jimmie Johnson, but then I realized nope, that's not Jimmie Johnson's car. That's a different car there. So here we go. Josh Sims on the pit road here. Going to be calling the race, it looks like. But yeah, Bowman's starting in 7th here tonight. He's going to be looking to try and find those fellow Hendrick Motorsports Chevys to try and make it to the front. Alright, there we go. So then now they got Larry McReynolds off in his own little booth. Alright, here we go, here we go. Let's see. So they're explaining how the restrictor plate works, showing how the plate there blocks the airflow and forces a bit more drag, which is what allows for less horsepower. In case you guys didn't know how the restrictor plate actually worked. Here we go. So lights are off on the pace car. We are getting ready to go racing here in duel number 1. And I say, it looks like forecast is clear. Nice, easy racing here tonight. 150 miles in each race. The twin 125s, they are no more. They are now the Daytona Duels. I say whatever the sponsor of this is, Blue Green Vacations or whatever. But yeah, it's the Daytona Duels here tonight. It's a nice deep field too. Say, I don't think there's really a bad car in the grid until you get back to like J.J. Yaley. Is I think the only really bad car in this field. This pace car pulls off and gonna be getting ready for it here. So here we go. Field in the hands of Joey Logano as the green flag waves. Green, green, green. Green flag's out, and they are racing once again here at Daytona International Speedway. And let's see. And say the Hendrick car is not able to get linked up. Joey Logano very careful to select the bottom lane here to avoid pairing the two Hendrick cars up together. Smart choice by him. You do not want to have two teammates lined up together on that inside line to go and blow right past you. Looks like Dylan, though, going to provide a nice, easy push here for the 5 of Larson. Going to try and take off into the corner. Logano goes up to try and side draft, but Larson has the nose out in front here. And say, this would be a good time for Logano if he wanted to try and pull out a line to go and pit, but it looks like he's going to stay out here and at least run near the front of the field for the first bit as Larson leads the first lap, and we are underway. Feels so nice to see racing at Daytona, though. The nice big high banks here. And say Larson now has the ability to move down potentially in front of Logano to block. He's also got the momentum on the top side from Austin Dillon, Todd Gilliland on the top as well, helping make that top line move. And that inside line just not seeming to have nearly the same momentum. Austin Dillon starting to get his nose out in front, and that outside line is absolutely starting to freight train here. Looking at the open cars right now, as of right now, Alfredo and Johnson would be the two to race their way in from this duel here. So Jimmie Johnson going to try and race his way in through the duel. All right, there we go. But, yeah, there we go. The two front runners there, Austin Dillon and Kyle Larson, both moved down in front of Joey Logano to put the block on him. So, yeah, right now, though, say Jimmie Johnson just chugging along here. Mike McDowell and the crew actually announced a partnership with Team Penske this morning. Supposedly that was signed before the Front Row Motorsports guys went and got their pole position, but they decided to wait till after they had won the pole to announce it. All right, so here we go. Everybody's starting to say it looks like that top line starting to lose momentum as drivers are falling out of it. Buscher's moved down to that inside line. Gilliland was able to get ahead of Dillon before dropping down into the inside line, so he was able to split up Dillon and Larson, that 1-2 combo there. Still waiting to see what's going to end up happening from the group here, but right now it looks like, oh, here comes a ride of momentum here from the 99. Who is that behind him? Is that the 1? Trying to figure out who's that behind him. No, I think that's Corey LaJoy. Who's the Advent Health car there? That's the 43. Okay, 43 of Eric Jones there helping push Suarez to the front. I thought that might have been Ross Chastain, but then I remembered he was in the Busch car for today. So, yeah, no, that's the 43 of Eric Jones. Weird to see that car as a Toyota, but there we go. Suarez to the lead, and Suarez takes the lead, moves down to the bottom line here. Not necessarily sure what he's thinking there, because he just let that crew with all the momentum move up to the top side, although the push from Larson looks like it's going to end up paying off here as Suarez gets pushed out to the lead, and now he can block both lanes here. So here we go. Let's see. Yep, there comes the momentum from the two Toyotas on the outside. You got the 43 and the 19 making some moves here. You got the 47 in the back there as well making that push. Meanwhile, the Chevys on the inside line of Suarez and Larson just not able to find the same momentum here. And now Eric Jones pulls out to the lead, and I don't know what you can really say about this. It hasn't already been said, but Jimmie Johnson is now up to Jimmie Johnson is now up to the spot of racing his way in here. Meanwhile, Alfredo and Yaley have both dropped to the rear, it looks like. Alfredo already locked in due to speed. Jimmie Johnson needing to race his way in. And here we go. We got Erik Jones and Truex. That momentum again, starting to pull that top line ahead. Jones could make the move down on the bottom line, but I don't know if he wants to do that with a teammate right behind him. You don't want to make your teammates distrustful of you this early, but so far Stenhouse the biggest mover of the night. LaJoie, Truex up there as well. 12 spots gained for both of them. Some nice moving through the field. Nice to see some people able to make some moves, and there we go. Truex and Erik Jones both able to make the move now down to the bottom line. So Truex and Erik Jones both now controlling the lanes. They can move up or down depending on where the momentum's coming from. But as of right now, they are on the bottom line, and we're going to have to wait and see what Stenhouse and that top line can maybe make happen here. Got Suarez on the inside line. Suarez and Larson on that inside line. That's a strong combo. Who is Stenhouse's push there? Okay, that's Corey LaJoie is the pusher there. Corey LaJoie, and then 7-time champion Jimmie Johnson is the other pusher there. Duels are on FS1. Pretty much everything this weekend is on FS1 aside from the Daytona 500, assuming the 500 doesn't get rained out. So, yeah, everything this weekend is on FS1. So, yep, here we go. So, again, these two still managing to hold the lead, but Stenhouse and that group from behind starting to gain some momentum, and a gap starting to build behind the two leaders. That could end up providing a bit of a run when they get caught here. But going into the corners, it honestly just looks like Erik Jones and Truex have this thing under complete control right now. And I say, not a ton of threat from either lane here. So Jimmie Johnson, again, he is in position to race his way in. Would be the simplest way for him to make his way into the race. But if he does get beat by Alfredo, he would still be in regardless, because he is the first alternate to be in on speed. So there we go. Yeah, you don't get FS1 or anything anymore. Yeah, I wish FS1 were easier to get. But, yep. That's why we're here and doing this, so. So they're going to commercial break, so don't worry, you're not missing anything. Yeah, well, this isn't a video game, and realistically, you definitely don't want to be going around and waiting and wrecking everybody, because you won't make any friends, and you'll end up costing both your team and the rest of your competitors a lot of money in damage at that point. Not to mention, you want to be making friends out there right now, because right now you're establishing trust for the Daytona 500. Alright, here we go. But, yeah, so far, though... Stenhouse takes the lead under... not under caution, but under the commercial break. Stenhouse noses his way out to the lead with Corey LaJoie pushing him. There we go. So, always nice to see... Always nice to see the good old 47 out there potentially getting a good start. If we could see Stenhouse and Kyle Busch on that second row, I mean, aside from Logano, this would be pretty much a perfect starting grid for me. Like Logano did one time. Last place waited for first. I don't remember when Logano waited for everybody to come by and wreck him, but I know he got wrecked by Matt Kenseth that one time at Martinsville when he was trying to wreck him. So I don't know if that's what you're trying to mention, but yeah. I say he wasn't the one doing the waiting, and trust me, I would be the first one to go ahead and blame him if he was. But here we go. Now we got side by side between Stenhouse and LaJoie here. It really is just kind of a slot car race for right now. Jimmie Johnson getting up in the middle of this fight. He's got help from behind with Ty Gibbs in tow here. So the 4 Toyotas here right at the front of the field on speed. So it does not seem like race pace is going to be the problem, even though we thought it might be after qualifying was a bit abysmal for them. All right, here we go. And yep, there's that's a big push from the 43. Gets the 47 way out in front here. And now we're just kind of waiting to see what's going to happen. And everybody falling back. So Logano has ultimately dropped out the field here. He's going to just hang at the back, it looks like, for now. Try and protect his race car. Anthony Alfredo looks like he's poised to do the exact same thing, as he's already locked himself into the field at least. Again, Jimmie Johnson and J.J. Yaley, the two that are really racing out here, trying to earn their spot into the 500. The rest are all just trying to figure out where they're going to be starting the race. Alright, let's see.
So go watch the full video.
There we go. Alright, there we go. Hey Caroline, how's it going? We're just chilling out here. The top line has really lost a ton of steam over the last 2 minutes or so, as Corey LaJoie and Jimmie Johnson have fallen back to 5th and 7th respectively as the outside line is going. But yeah, right now though, Stenhouse in that inside line though looking extremely dominant. And say, if Ricky Stenhouse Jr., again, if he can hold on for this one, that'd be amazing. But they are going to need to stop for fuel somewhere, probably around the halfway point. Although I would say the window is going to open here in about 4 laps for people to potentially try and game their way to the front here. Only driver you ever had a problem with was Harrison Burton? Okay, well, curious to hear that story, but yeah, I've never met Harrison Burton. I think the only drivers I've really met in person was Ryan Blaney. I got to meet Mike McDowell for a brief minute, and then trying to think of who else I've actually met in person. Because I haven't met very many of the drivers, just from in passing. I know I almost got hit by Jimmie Johnson on his golf cart because I wasn't looking where I was going, walking around Bristol, and didn't realize I was on the track, on the walk into the track. I didn't realize I was in the middle of the driveway for them. It's going pretty good. Can't complain. We got ourselves some good old-fashioned Daytona racing here. I don't think anyone could ever really be having a bad day while watching some good old-fashioned plate racing at Daytona. Especially for me, where my guys are out in front here. And they got Kevin Harvick's Happy Hour, a podcast with Kevin Harvick and not Clint Boyer, that's 2 Kevin Harvick's. Cartoon Kevin Harvick's that they're showing up there, so. Apparently, Kevin Harvick has his own podcast now that you can go listen to. Didn't know that. Might have to give it a listen sometime. But, yeah, so far, though, again, the field kind of looking a little bit like gridlock right now as we are 17 laps in here. Yeah, 17 laps in, and Corey LaJoie actually takes the lead. Here we go. He gets his nose out in front. Can LaJoy be able to actually clear Stenhouse here? Kyle Busch, Denny Hamlin, Eric Jones, and Christopher Bell were the only ones, and you were close to Brad. Had him sign your phone case. All right, cool. And say the only autograph I've actually gotten in person was I got Ryan Blaney's autograph on on one of his body armor cars back at the 2018 Bristol night race. Or no, sorry, 2019 Bristol night race. And that was the same one where I got to meet with Michael McDowell. But here we go. And say, oh, there we go. LaJoy actually popped into the inside line there to get in behind Stenhouse. And now LaJoy and Stenhouse the top two, and they're going to be pushing on each other's bumpers. Nope. LaJoy pops back out of line, going to tries to make the block and work both lanes. And oh, no. No. Corey LaJoy gets stuck in the middle of three wide, the good old sucker hole here, as he's going to just fall all the way to the back after working so hard to get up into that top five. So now it's Stenhouse and Jones on the bottom line. I believe Johnson might be leading the outside lane. Hard to tell, though, right now. And here we go. People are bailing out of line behind the 44 of J.J. Yaley here. And let's see what's going to look like here. We got Suarez. So Jimmie Johnson is the lead car on the outside line, but he's back in 5th place overall just because of how far ahead that inside line is. And they're going to commercial break here once again. No, he didn't spin out. He got stuck in the middle of three wide and in the sucker hole, as it's called. Because you're getting air taken off of you from both your inside and your outside, and he has nobody behind him to push. So he dropped from first. I don't know where he stabilized. Let me see where he stabilized real quick. He stabilized out in 14th place so far for Corey LaJoy. So yeah, he is falling very far here. But no, he didn't spin out. Car's still in one piece, so it's possible he could end up making a charge back through the field, especially with pit stops still being a requirement. But they go to commercial break as soon as the pit window opens, it looks like. I'm hoping that that's a strategy. That way they aren't going to commercial break when the pit stops happen at likely about lap 30. Although if I'm some of these guys at the back of the field, let me see. Which group is at the back of the field primarily? So if I'm LaJoy, Chris Buescher, Ryan Preece, I would be starting to maybe get the three of you and maybe let in a couple of Chevys on your plan. Start making a plan to try and get to pit road a couple laps early here. Again, if you can get enough cars on board with it. Problem is trying to not tip off all the Chevys, because this is a very heavy duel when it comes to Chevys. There's more Chevrolet than anything else in this race. Although, kind of goes with the territory, because there's more Chevy in the field than in the full field of 42 cars than there is anything else. Including, I believe, like half of the open cars are all Chevys. Because Alfredo, the 44 are both Chevys. Jimmy's a Toyota, and then there's two Toyotas, two Chevy, or there's one Toyota, two Chevys, and two Fords. That math isn't right. Alfredo and Biffle are both Chevys. Reagan and Gralla are both Fords. Then there's BJ McLeod. I don't even know what manufacturer BJ McLeod's driving this year. Tomorrow, 7:30 Eastern, we got the Truck Series race from Daytona, so that'll be a fun one. And I'll be here for both truck qualifying and the stupid birthday party. Whose birthday? Is it yours? Happy early birthday if it is, and if not, happy birthday to whoever's birthday it is. But we got some good old racing here, and I'll be streaming truck truck qualifying and the race tomorrow. So that should be good fun. Then I'll also be streaming the other races on the weekend. But as I mentioned earlier, I do have a friend who will be joining me for the second duel here. So when we get around to that, that should be good fun and games there. Let me go ahead and see. Got a couple of text messages there. There we go. And, oh, here comes a run. Okay, Truex moved up to the outside line with Kyle Larson and making a run around the outside. Going to try and pass Stenhouse. There we go. I looked away for a moment, and clearly I chose the wrong moment to look away because they are coming in a hurry. Those two drivers both popped out of the bottom line to try and take the lead. Now Eric Jones and the 43 are having to fight for everything they got to try and keep the 47 out in front of this field. I know it might not be what Jones absolutely wants to do, but Stenhouse now abandons Jones on the bottom line to try and block both lanes here. So Ricky Stenhouse Jr. is going to try and cover both lanes. Okay, it's your stepsister's birthday. All right, well, happy birthday to her. So, there we go. Birthdays are always fun, though. Sure, it might be a bummer that you don't get to watch the truck race, but there's a lot of truck races this year. There's only one birthday this year. So, there we go. And, Stenhouse went down to the bottom line here, and he pulled out of line here, and that's going to allow Truex and Larson to take control of this race, and now even Jimmie Johnson getting the nose out in front. No, here we go. The 47 surges back up the inside. He might have a shot at getting back to the inside of Truex here to fight for the lead. Otherwise, it might be just battling for second. It's going to come down to that organization on that inside line because that top line is really well organized. Four Toyota cars in the first 5 cars. The only non-Toyota in that top line right now is Larson in second there. Oh yeah, truck race will definitely be one to watch here. But right now though, again, let's see, is Larson going to try and move down? No, Larson not able to move down in front of Stenhouse. Stenhouse fighting for everything he's got to try and stay caught up with the leaders, but he's got very little help behind him here. Eric Jones in that Toyota not wanting to help Stenhouse too much to beat the other Toyota drivers out here. But yeah, this battle side by side, and we're starting to enter pit road window here. And if I'm the Chevys, I would be starting to coordinate that because you're going to want to be on pit road sometime between lap 30 and 40. And ideally, I would say somewhere in between lap 30 and 35 is the real good window to try and get on pit road. But it is very much a question mark of can you get there? And if you can't, what do you end up doing here? So, right now, though, Stenhouse is able to poke his nose out into the lead there for just a moment, but then falls right back to third or fourth here, depending on where all the noses line up at the line. But, man, Stenhouse putting up a good fight. Can't deny he's trying everything he can to run this one as good as possible. Again, Stenhouse winning this one would be amazing. I can't imagine if Kyle Busch and Stenhouse win these two duels. Would be my absolute perfect lineup aside from Joey Logano on the pole. But Kyle Busch, McDowell, and Stenhouse up there in the top 4 starting spots. Can't think of much better here. And they're starting to there's starting to be a decent amount of separation between the two lines here. And let's see. Going through the corner really allows Stenhouse to try and climb up the leaderboard a bit. Problem is down that back straightaway, the top line's organization just absolutely trumps the bottom line. And now they can start moving down the track if they want to try and make the block. Problem is it looks like they're all trying to drag the entire line to the top. And if they could theoretically break free of the inside line entirely, be able to get all of the Toyotas down onto the inside line together, potentially Toyota could be coordinating that for the pit stop, but you're going to need to do something because this pit stop is coming up really quickly here. And, yeah, you're going to have to pit here soon. And are they really throwing another commercial break right in the middle of what we're assuming are going to be green flag stops? Unless they have info from the teams guaranteeing that we're not going to miss a green flag stop here in the middle of the cycle. I do not like this call here. Okay, she wanted to have her party at the skating rink. All right, cool. Is that ice or roller? Because two very different types of skating, one of which I'm somewhat bad at, the other one I'm really bad at. But, yeah. Let's see. What do we got here? All right. Let's see. Wow, we got a lot of people hanging out in here for the duels. Again, we're at commercial break right now, so you're not missing anything. We're just waiting for the commercial break to come back. But, yeah, this seems like a great time for pit road. And Stenhouse has dropped all the way to 6th. Uh-oh. Wonder if he might have thought the same and dove for pit road here. But, yeah. Okay, roller skating is what she wanted. Okay, well. I think I'm probably worse at roller skating than ice skating, although I don't do either very frequently. I think it's been probably close to 10 years since I've done either of them. But yeah. So Daytona truck 7:30, and then what time's ARCA? That's what I was looking up. What time is ARCA at tomorrow? Because that is what I don't know yet. So let's see. ARCA Daytona 200. Is it a 200 mile? Oh yeah, it's a 200 mile race for the ARCA race. I didn't realize ARCA was going to be a longer race than the Daytona, than the trucks. Or is it going to be the exact same? And that's at 1:30 on Saturday. Okay. Looking forward to that. Should be a good one there. So yeah, again, ARCA, Xfinity qualifying, and the race on Saturday as well. Saturday's going to be a busy day. And then Sunday, hopefully, the Daytona 500. And we're coming back from commercial break. 26 laps to go. I think you got about 5 more laps for people to start looking for that pit road here. But Stenhouse still hanging in there on the inside. Yeah, the 200-mile ARCA race at Daytona on Saturday afternoon at 1:30. Yeah, I was surprised. I thought it would be a 150. I did not expect a 200. I thought it was the General Tire 150 usually. But yeah, no, it's a 200-mile race, 80 laps. I hadn't actually looked at what the race length of that one was until just now, and yeah, that's surprising. But here we go. Stenhouse has clawed his way all the way back up to the top 2 or 3 here, but in the corners he drops so far back, and at this point he'd almost be better off to just let them down if that's what they want to do to try and come to pit road, because they're going to need to pit at some point. There's no way these cars can go 60 laps, right? 60 laps is absolutely too far. Oh, and it looks like Alfredo's coming off pit road. He's really slow, but I don't think he really cares. He's in the race. I don't think he cares what happens to to his starting spot here, as long as he's in the event. And here we go. Let's see. Again, Jimmie Johnson absolutely looks like he's on pace to lock himself in by racing his way in. As long as he doesn't wreck. Because J.J. Yaley is still right in the pack, but Jimmie Johnson, nobody is diving out of line to move Jimmie Johnson out the way. Yeah, Tanner Gray Racing for Joe Gibbs Racing should be pretty good. Yeah, I haven't looked at the full ARCA entry list to know what the other what the entry list looks like, but ARCA at Daytona is usually a pretty decent race, or it's a complete crash fest. So figure regardless, we'll get some good highlights out of it at least. So speaking of highlights, I did upload the final pole run from Joey Logano and my reaction to it from the stream. So if anyone missed that or just wants to see my reaction again, that'll be a nice easy place to go and find it. But here we go. Stenhouse can move up into the top line here. There's enough room for a parking spot, but he opts not to. Stays on the bottom line here. I don't know if he even knew that there was a parking spot worth of room up there, but he could have moved up there. He opted not to. So here we go. Let's see. It's going to be... Let's see. Stenhouse pulls himself to the front here. Usually I think of about 40 laps as being the outer maximum of what these cars can do on fuel, but they're about to cross lap 40 and nobody's pit. I don't know what is going on at this point. If they aren't pitting now, theoretically, they should be pitting soon here. Let's see. So yeah, so far Alfredo is 2 laps down. That's the only driver that seems to have come to pit road. Everybody else is all right in this pack here. As Truex moves to the bottom line here to go down there in front of Stenhouse, looks like the Toyotas might be making their move here. Yeah, there we go. Truex making a parking spot there for Ty Gibbs. I believe Truex might also be making a parking spot here for Reddick on the bottom line. And yeah, here we go. The Toyota's coming to pit road. Oh no! Austin Dillon shoves Todd Gilliland into the fence, and there's a bit of problems there. Everybody does say go in the right direction, just minimal contact, but it could have been a whole lot worse. But yeah, I saw them coming to pit road, but man, they were not ready. I feel like they should have opted to take another lap around to make sure that they got everybody in line before they went and moved down to the pit road. Problem is, everybody would have seen them grouping up and known to go for the pit road there. So contact with Gilliland, hopefully that's not significant contact, but I would expect to see the rest of the field come this time by. At least 20 for fast track racing. Okay. So here we go. Let's see. And the front runner's not opting to pit here. It looks like maybe Stenhouse came down pit road. So Stenhouse might have Stenhouse and Austin Dillon both coming down pit road. Not sure if anybody else came with them. They may have been the only two. And if they were the only two takers, it's going to be tough for them to pull this one back. Because Austin Dillon, they're going to have to take an extra half second to check that car over, make sure it's ready. Oh, no, they didn't. They just went right out and they trust it. So Austin Dillon and Stenhouse are going to rejoin the track. Let's see. Where's the blend mark? Where are they at compared to the field? So the Toyotas, the line of Toyotas, that's what I want to see here. They got, the cameras are on Larson and Chastain. Should be seeing some more guys coming to pit road here. But so far, not seeing anybody making any big move for the pit lane yet. And it looks like Stenhouse and Dillon are going to end up having to tag onto the back of the line of Toyotas. So, yeah, that line of Toyotas was well organized and got in and off pit road better and more efficiently than the two Chevys all by themselves. So, I think that's going to, you can pretty much count those two out for the race win unless we get a caution flag, which I think is unlikely because I think the rest of these guys are going to play very nice when deciding when to come to pit road, and I think some of them are coming now. I think Hocevar came to pit road. We'll have to wait and see if anybody else drops. But, yeah, watching this replay here of what happened between the... as they were getting on pit road. Honestly, Truex almost had the 45 spin right in front of him because between the say he almost turned down into the 54 there. Didn't really have a full pocket there because they waited too long to try and create a pocket, and they didn't have room because Ty Gibbs was slowing down for the pit stop. But now we got Jimmie Johnson and the Joe Gibbs group right on the back bumper of J.J. Yeley. And here come the leaders. Larson, Chastain, Suarez, Bowman, Hocevar. You got Martin Truex Jr. You got pretty much all the front runners coming down pit road. Looks like it's going to be a bunch of gas and goes here today. Not surprised to see gas and goes. I'm just kind of surprised to see the... again, I was surprised to see the Toyotas not wait a little bit longer to see if they could get organized here, but right now everybody's coming out of the pits, and we're going to have to wait and see if the 84 of Johnson can overcome this. And here comes the group of Fords, the last group of guys who had not pit yet. They waited an extra 5 laps or so. And it looks like we'll have to wait and see if it pays off or not here. Ryan Preece coming down pit road. Buscher. You got you got Todd Gilliland, and you got the 22 of Logano all coming to pit road. But right now, Larson, Chastain, and Suarez are the race leaders. Oh, Chastain coming back to pit road. Chastain must have had a problem. Not sure if that's a loose wheel or what, but... oh no, it's too fast exiting for Ross Chastain. Chastain was too fast on exiting pit road, so he is going to have to come back to pit road and serve a penalty. And that will certainly remove him from contention of this race unless there's a surprise yellow here in the final 15 laps. But here we go. Truex coming up behind, I believe Truex might be waiting to try and group up with the other Toyotas. Oh, I know he's trying to figure out where he is in comparison to the other Toyotas. No, he's behind the other Toyotas, so he didn't wait for them. But here we go. The Toyotas are starting to make their move. Jimmie Johnson leading the pack of Toyotas around the outside. You got Logano and that pack of Fords here trying to maybe make something happen. But the Toyotas and their allegiance to one another here is going to provide a ton of speed. Let's see. Oh no, Ty Gibbs pulls out of line to make it 3 wide with Jimmie Johnson. Why, Ty Gibbs? Why? I mean, come on, man. It's Jimmie Johnson. You don't do that to a 7-time champion. I mean, it was a clean move, but it's one of those things where it's just surprising to see anybody actually racing Jimmie Johnson significantly. I mean, he'll still make the race, which is the more important part. But I was expecting Jimmie Johnson to just lead them all the way up to the front, but Ty Gibbs was having none of it. So yeah, and then Martin Truex Jr. had some sort of stutter there, which took some time to get going, and yeah, needed an extra push from the pit crew to go and get it going. But yeah, he lost some time there. And that's what allowed him to lose the draft, and now it's yeah, we got a race for the lead between Larson, Suarez, Elliott, and Bowman. So the Hendrick cars are right at the front. So kind of like what a lot of us thought is that they opted to not go for the pole in hopes of being fast in the race. And so far, it looks like it's paid off for them pretty well here, as all 3 Hendrick cars in this race are all up inside the top 5. So here we go. Let's see. So again, we're under commercial break. Not missing much. Let's see. All right. So again, we're gonna have my friend Jamie jumping in here for the second duel at Daytona here. So I'm going to go ahead and duplicate that. Alright, there we go. Alright, there we go. So that's all doubled up here. So now I can go ahead and, when we get done with this race, I'm going to go ahead and modify this layout to try and work with, get ready for Jamie to join us here for the second duel. And, oh, we got a caution flag. Oh, no. Jimmie Johnson has smoke going. And you got the 3-car of Austin Dillon also turned around. Uh-oh, that is not good. We got a yellow flag here, boys. We're going to be, the caution flag is going to be out, and we're going to be seeing a restart here. Stenhouse going to be trying to come from deep in the field. You got the 31 of Hemrick, who is crashed out. Let's see what happened. What led to this? They're showing it. It looks like it might be a Ty Gibbs thing. Oh, okay, so Hocevar pulling out a line there to try and make it 3 wide. Now they're showing Gibbs again, and I don't know why, because, yeah, that's a stack up there from the 3 wide there with Bowman and LaJoy, it looked like, that led to the 3-4 cars that are going spinning, including, but not limited to, Jimmie Johnson, Austin Dillon, and Ricky Stenhouse Jr. also involved in that stack up there. All 4 of them kind of going for a bit of a slide. Luckily, no significant damage to the 84 or the 47, but no significant damage. It doesn't look like to the 84. I think he should still be fast. It's all about where the 44 is. So let's see, where's the 44 at? That's kind of the bigger question here. So the 44 is behind him still. So I think the 84 could still be a threat to move on here to the Daytona 500. Don't count Jimmie Johnson out. That's for sure. All right, here we go. Here we go. So, yep, if you guys are just joining us, the crash has happened here in the Daytona Duels, and we have got ourselves a yellow flag here. And this is not going to be good, because this is going to set up a restart with only 9 laps to go to determine the starting grid for the Daytona 500, including a battle between J.J. Yaley and Jimmie Johnson for who gets into the field. And I think we're all pretty much Jimmie Johnson fans here when it comes to that. I don't hate J.J. Yaley, but if it has to be Jimmy or Yaley, I will gladly accept Jimmie Johnson into the Daytona 500 over J.J. Yaley. Yaley won't be competitive. I very much could see Jimmie Johnson being competitive in this race. I mean, even in this dual race so far, I would say that Jimmy's been the more competitive car of the two of them. So they're going to go to another commercial break here before we get back racing. So we got a few minutes. If anyone has anything they want to say, I am going to be reading chat, but I'm also going to be working on the overlay, trying to make it work for 2 people. So first things first, I'm going to go ahead and hide those away because I don't necessarily need them right now. I'm also going to hide the that logo away. Yeah, we're all Jimmie Johnson fans right now, similar to how kind of everybody was a Newman fan when Newman's wreck happened. Oh, Patrick's going to root them both on. He's going to just root them on for a tie, probably. Alright, let's go ahead and figure out. First off, I'm going to go ahead and make another copy of that layer. So, getting to see a little bit of live editing, mainly just because I need to make sure it gets done before the second race starts. So, I don't know how much downtime there's going to be in between the two, so... There we go. And that should be... Hey, Nick, how's it going? Alright, there we go. Alright, I'm going to try and shave off a little bit more width here. Just doing a little bit of live editing because for the second race, my buddy Jamie is going to be joining us, and I want to make sure the layout actually can fit 2 people. There we go. There we go. Oh, and we are back from commercial break, so I will be right over there in just a moment, guys. Trying to figure out how to make this layout work for 2 people, so. Here we go, let's see. Actually, I got another idea real quick, so I'm going to go ahead and just hide away those. And I am going to try and go with a hybrid method here. Let's go ahead and do that. There we go. Alright. And then he would go underneath me there. Alright, I think that there would work, so. Yeah, I know, there's not much of a break between the 2 duels, so there we go. I think that'll be as good as I'm going to get on the fly. Let's see. Actually, I can get a quick race background in there. Let's go ahead and do image. Something from Daytona last year will do. Nobody will really probably even notice. And so yeah, Jimmie Johnson will be behind J.J. Haley. So he is going to have to make a pass here. Oh yeah, there's going to be some pit reporting. There's going to be interviews with the drivers, especially whichever driver made it. And if Jimmie Johnson fails to make it, he will certainly get interviewed between the 2 races. So there will definitely be race interviews happening from the booth. So that'll take some time. Alright, there we go. Good enough. It's not exactly how I want it, but that'll do for tonight. And here we go. They're going back to racing. Green flag. Green, green. And we got Suarez and Larson on the inside and outside. Looks like the Hendrick car is going to try and group up on that outside to maybe try and just bully their way to the front. Bowman lost a few spots there to choose the outside lane. Not sure what ended up happening there, but yeah, Bowman back in 10th place. He was up inside the top 5 there for a minute. But yeah, right now though, there's a ton of Chevrolet power at the front of the field, and it's going to be hard to shuffle those Chevys out of there. The Toyotas tried to do what they could to pit together, but they weren't organized enough, weren't together soon enough, and ultimately it's going to cost them here as they go down the back straightaway here. Yeah, no big one yet typically one of the duels ends up having a big one, and so far it doesn't look like that's going to be tonight. And J.J. Yaley versus Jimmie Johnson is actually happening in the back half of the field, and the Daytona and the Fox crew ain't covering it here. Jimmie Johnson takes the pass for the lead in the open car battle. Jimmie Johnson passes J.J. Yaley for 15th place. Let's go. Oh no, J.J. Yaley passes Jimmie Johnson back. No. Let's go. Come on, Jimmy. Come on, good old Jimmer Johnson. Let's go and see what we got here. What's it going to be here? And yeah, say Yaley trying to block all the way down onto the apron. That looked like a JP style move. No, but here we go. We got the 99 of Suarez making a move here on the inside. You got Ty Gibbs, Joey Logano on that inside as well, trying to make something happen. Logano should not be anywhere near this battle, but here we go. It's right now Jimmy is in behind J.J. Yaley in line. He's going to need to find something he can do to try and make this pass. He goes to the bottom line to maybe hope that the slot car system can work. And he noses out in front. Jimmie Johnson to the lead in the battle for the last car, for the car to race their way in. It's between Yaley and Johnson here. Let's see. Who's it going to be? And J.J. Yaley is going to fall behind here. Chastain, come on. Chastain, just tap the brakes lightly. Just slow up Yaley here. But no, it's going to still be a side-by-side battle for the position here as they come across the line. 3 laps to go. Jimmy had it at the line. So Jimmie Johnson had 15th at the line here for the position. But these two are deadlocked. It is going to come down to who gets the lead coming off of turn 4 here. I don't know if it could get much closer than this. So here we go. 2 laps to go here at Daytona. Alright, so here we go. We got split screen going on here as we're trying to focus on both the battles here. We got Jimmie Johnson versus J.J. Yaley in the back of the pack, but Suarez is making a challenge for the lead as they take the white flag. White flag, 1 lap to go here at Daytona as Daniel Suarez just made a charge to try and take the lead, but then he fell way back here. I think the more interesting battle, though, is the battle between Jimmie Johnson and J.J. Yaley. They are fighting to try and see who's going to make the Daytona 500 here and who's going to be going home. Now the battle between the 2 Rick Hendrick cars as Chase Elliott popped out of line there to try and take the lead, and he is just falling back here. Now Reddick to the bottom of the racetrack. Reddick's going to try and make the move. That now lines up 2 Hendrick Chevys, and oh, Kyle Larson up the track. Larson is up the track here, and we got 3 wide in the back of the pack as well, looking at the Jimmie Johnson versus J.J. Yaley situation. Johnson gets out in front of it, and Reddick wins the race, but the more important thing, Jimmie Johnson will be in the Daytona 500 this Sunday. So it is Reddick, Elliott, Bowman, Hocevar, Jones, the top 5 coming home after that one. Man, that was exciting. Whew, man. Wish Parker would come back full-time or do some pit reporting. I'm assuming you're talking about Parker Kligerman. Kligerman works for NBC, so you'll see him on for the pit box for the for pit reporting for the second half of the season. But Jimmie Johnson, man, he made it work. So let me go ahead and let my buddy know how we're doing this. So. But, yeah, looking forward, though, to seeing Jimmie Johnson racing that one. They're showing the replay right now. And, yeah, Kyle Larson just ended up on the outside of 3 wide there and got shoved wide by his teammate. And then everybody else just trying to freight train on by. not much Kyle Larson could do. He just fell further and further back, and Tyler Reddick made the right move at the right time and just barely found the victory there. And so he's probably there as to try and make sure that people know he's available if someone needs a backup driver last minute. That's probably why he's in Daytona. Although he could just be there to watch the race, but yeah, let me go ahead and pop in the Discord myself here momentarily. Let's go ahead and see. Discord. Alright, I'm in there now, so he knows which channel to join. Alright, we're all set up, and now we're going to hop over here for the co-stream. Yeah, we'll see, actually, I can make myself a little smaller. Lining it up with that, there we go. And then I'm going to pop that out. Full screen that. Alright, here we go. So yeah, so they're going down to the front stretch to go talk with Tyler Reddick after that win. Again, don't go anywhere. There is still a second race to talk about, but the first race has happened, and Tyler Reddick wins the first duel at Daytona. Again, still a second race to go, though. Alright, here we go. Let's see. Don't got any water down here. I might have to go grab a bottle of water between races, because that definitely can dry out. But yeah, now they're talking with Daytona 500 driver now, Jimmie Johnson, who will be racing in the 500 on Sunday. He was fast. He just had to overcome a late race crash, and Jimmie Johnson, that veteran experience, gets him there. And now they're also talking with J.J. Yaley, who fought very hard but comes up short here in Daytona. He only got the call a few days ago that he was even going to be racing this thing, so yeah, that was no doubt that could easily be Battle of the Year right there. But yep, good job though for Tyler Reddick to go off and win this one. And Reddick will be starting on that inside line of the 500 here. All right, let's see. What do we got? So how's everybody feel about that first race? And let me know who you guys' favorite drivers are who are taking part in duel number 2. My personal favorite in duel number 2 is either going to be Michael McDowell. I'm excited, but I don't anticipate him racing for a ton. And Kyle Busch, who will be racing for pretty much everything, including a starting position here. So there we go. Just checking all that. All right, we're all good. So again, we're getting ready though. We're just waiting in between the duel. In between the two duel races here. Yeah, duels who you got, Rowdy or Blaney? I definitely think Blaney could win it. I'm just going off of who I'm rooting for, and it is definitely Kyle Busch and McDowell are my two guys that I'm rooting for here, so. Here we go, let's see. Yeah, duel. Okay. Okay, duel 1 didn't have any of your favorites, but duel 1 was good. Yeah, I mean, obviously, Stenhouse, but Yeah, for the most part, I wasn't overly interested in Duel 2 aside from Stenhouse. And for the most part, I just root for a good race, and that was definitely it. Kyle Busch is the man, yep. And it's like, he's going to be in Duel number 2, and I'm excited to watch that one happen. Yeah, and we're going to have my friend popping in here as well momentarily. He will be joining us for Duel number 2 as well, so. But, yeah. And I say, we got Kyle Busch. So, there's a Kyle Busch in it. Trying to remember who else is even in Duel number 2. Let's see. Oh, Race Center. Here we go. It's opened up. It should be getting ready for the names to change over here. So, Michael McDowell, Cindric, William Byron. William Byron's another fun one in Duel number 2. Let's see. Who else? Harrison Burton, Riley Herbst, Chase Briscoe, Noah Gragson. Noah Gragson's one of my dad's favorites. Ryan Blaney. AJ Allmendinger. Actually, I'm definitely rooting for Allmendinger too. Man, this duel is so much better. I mean, you got Barry, Keselowski, David Reagan, Bubba Wallace, Justin Haley, Bell, Denny Hamlin, but I mean, he's just kind of there. Zane Smith, John Hunter Nemechek. I mean, this duel is amazing comparatively. I hadn't actually looked at just how stacked the second duel was going to be, but let me go ahead and shift over to the race center for race number 2. Let's see, is that just about the right sizing and spacing here? Alright, I'm going to pop it onto the big screen here for a moment. Alright, so it needs to be a little down. There we go. That looks perfect. Pretty close to it. Let me just go ahead and pop up my little black bar here. Oh, hello?
Hey, hey.
How's it going?
Good, man, good. Man. Jimmy, the old Double J did it.
Yep. Let me take a second here to try and get your face up here on the broadcast as well for everybody. Alright, window capture, there we go. But yeah, so what were some of your thoughts on that first duel?
After watching it, it definitely looked like some people were being racy, some people weren't.
Yeah, I mean, Logano had nothing to race for there, so
yeah,
wasn't shocked.
I was surprised
to see
though that there was a miscommunication between the Toyotas.
Yeah, I was surprised to see that too.
And then the Fords, they are not the Toyotas, not the Fords. The Toyotas did about what we talked about on the podcast.
Yep.
They seemed like during the actual race, they definitely had were able to get things going and be able to make some moves within the pack. And I think that's with how the body build is for those cars. I think that's going to be a major advantage for the 500.
Yep. Alright, there we go. That's perfectly lined up. But yeah, so there we go. So yeah, I know your favorite driver was in duel number 1, Chase Elliott.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I mean, nothing really for him to race for necessarily, but
yeah, definitely glad he was ahead of all the craziness that happened there. So I missed the initial. What happened? Did Stenhouse getting in the back of somebody who was off the pace?
So what I saw was that I think it was Bowman was shuffling his way back through the field, trying to desperately to shove himself into any hole he could. Shoved himself, I think, kind of in front of Corey LaJoie, which slowed up and then stacked up the 4 guys that we saw get involved. So Stenhouse, I think, was the 3rd car in line when the stack up happened. But yeah, excited for Jimmie Johnson to be in the 500. Just reading through the chat there. So yeah,
hate it for Yelly, but hate it for JJ Yeley, but it's good to get a full 7 time in there.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, especially for JJ Yeley, his deal came together so late. I think it was pretty much expected that he was going to be missing out on the he was. He had the least amount of preparation, similar to Connor Daly a couple years ago. Or was that last year when last year was Connor Daly. But I still think that it's ridiculous that there's no practice session before Daytona 500 qualifying or the duels. So if you have something that goes wrong in one of those 2 things, you could miss the race entirely.
Yeah, that I think restrictor plates in general should have an actual practice.
Yeah,
but
and say especially in a race where there's enough people to potentially end up sending people home. Because like the other plate races don't always have that aspect, which is kind of why I'm not as much about saying it needs to be there for the other races. Although I think any race where people are going home, practice should occur. Although I would just say have a practice session before every race, but for whatever reason, NASCAR thinks that's not the best course of action.
Yeah, it just creates more dialogue for cars to have to adjust on the fly, which makes for better racing, I guess.
Yep, until someone leaves a wheel loose on the initial pit stop thing, or leaves a cord loose or something, and it comes unplugged with the electronics. So we got what? Who are the 2 open cars in this second duel? Do you remember? I know it's I think it's BJ McLeod and kasgrala.
Yeah. kasgrala, I think, could be the spoiler because he didn't even get a chance to qualify because something broke in the car when they were getting ready to qualify. Well,
and look at the car he's in compared to the car he's racing in BJ McLeod. That front row car, both of those cars qualified what? 12th and 2nd on speed yesterday. So, I mean, theoretically, that's a pretty fast car. And I'm saying, if it weren't for Austin Dillon getting into Todd Gilliland there, I think he could have been a contender for the race win too. Because he was certainly in the mix. So
yeah,
and I'd be shocked if Michael McDowell was actually going to race for anything in this race. I think he's just going to drop to the rear of the field and try and protect the car.
I don't know though. He may see what happened all in front of Joey Logano, and he's going to be like, I don't want to know. I don't want to be a part of any of that. Let's just try to keep this.
He could pull it down pit road, but I think he does want at least some drafting experience for if he does get shuffled back in the pack later in the race.
Yeah, but I mean, at the same time though, NASCAR is now giving out points for these duels, so he's going to want those points.
Yeah, every point does matter, and especially where he's starting to get to that point where he might be able to point his way to the playoffs. So, yep, there we go. Just double check.
What kind of shirt is that you got going on there? What kind of shirt is that?
I got my brand new Ricky Stenhouse Jr. shirt from the playoff run that he made last year.
Were you talking about, and that's what happened in the wreck? Is that what happened, the dire curse?
I didn't. It wasn't me.
It wasn't you?
not it. But yep, so there we go. I got it to where I can read chat. Got everything pulled up over there. Alright. Well, I'm going to go run and grab a bottle of water before the second duel, so I will be right back.
Alright, I'll do the same. For the military community.
I forgot I had muted my mic when I left, so I'm back. But yeah, we are getting ready. They just gave the command to start the engines for duel number 2. And we are ready to go racing. Alright, so here we go. Alright, we got 12 people hanging out in here watching. Hopefully everybody's having a good night. We're getting ready for duel number 2. They're going to go to a quick commercial break. And yeah, if you guys are new here, of course, like and subscribe. If you guys are new, we're going to be streaming all weekend long, tonight, tomorrow night, and all day Saturday pretty much. And we'll see what ends up happening with the weather on Sunday, but there'll definitely be streams on Sunday. Also some content Monday and Tuesday as we get ready for it. So let me go ahead and see if I can get the let me go ahead and get the other thing going. Nope, not that. Nope, not that. Sure, it's one of these things. There we go, that. I see inspiration right through my glass. When my windshield cracked, it had to be. That is not. Alright. Oh, okay, so that's him. So let's go ahead and move that there. Alright, there we go. So we got that all set up and we are ready to go. So we got 20 people hanging out in chat. Thank you guys for everybody's going on that's decided to spend their Thursday evening here with us. Normally, Jamie and I would both be getting ready for the Thomas Cup Series race, but Thomas Cup Series is off this weekend for the Daytona Duels, so we'll be back next week with the virtual Richmond Raceway. But looking forward to that race. Yeah, we're currently, I think it's what, 5, maybe. I think it's 5 weeks into the Thomas Cup season so far. Go ahead and see. Let's see, Thomas Cup Series.
Yeah, five races in.
Okay, we are 5 races in. Okay, I couldn't remember if we were 5 or 6.
5 races in, 5 different winners. I said we're 5 races in and 5 different winners.
Yep. So yeah, so we got Richmond coming up. You feel like you're ready for Richmond next week?
I have a knack for Richmond, but
yeah, me too.
I know. Chuck Plum. He's got the right feel for Richmond. The last time we raced there during the off season, he lagged out, and he was in the lead when that happened.
Yep. All right, so they're say the cars are rolling off the. Wait, okay, this has got to be another pre-recorded interview because there's no way they're talking with Jimmy or with Denny Hamlin in a jacket because he's supposed to be out there rolling onto the field with the rest of them right now.
They're trying to throw you off like they did earlier.
Yeah. Yeah, but I actually saw the cars rolling this time, so I know that this has got to be pre-recorded. Earlier, it was a kind of question mark of, okay, where are we at in the broadcast? Because I just turned it on and I saw them talking with Elliott.
Oh, gotcha.
So I hadn't seen any cars rolling at that point, but here we go. We got... Also, is it just me, or did the 2 most similar-looking cars have to start on the front row together? Because I think there's not 2 cars that look more similar than the 34 and the 22 with all the red and yellow.
And my daughter was happy too because she likes the yellow cars, as she puts it, in her 3-year-old mindset.
Yep.
And she was like, "What color do you like?" I'm like, "I like the blue car." She just looked very serious at me, and she goes, "Your
Yellow.
blue car's gonna get blue, Daddy." And I was like, "No, don't say that."
Yep. And say, my other guy is in a blue car tonight as well, so I guess go blue cars, right?
Go yellow and blue
Kyle
cars.
Busch has got that zone car tonight. The zone.
Speaking of which, there it is.
Okay, I guess you're a couple seconds ahead of me, so I'll just have to remember that.
Yep, I'll try to remember that too.
Yep. Yeah,
I love that scheme.
because I'm watching through Fubo streaming as opposed to actually having network television at this point, or cable.
I'm watching it through DirecTV stream.
Yeah, so there's usually a slight delay, but we got this.
Yep. I'll just try to wait till you react before I react.
Yeah, Caroline is saying go blue and yellow. I don't know if that's meant to be a thing about Elliott, or if that's meant to be that they just mistook what colors were on Kyle Busch's zone car, because I know we were talking.
I think it's just a play on go yellow and blue cars based off of earlier.
Okay, yeah.
And then he also said that Michael McDowell is the in-race reporter for this race too, so this is going to make things very interesting.
Oh yeah, that's going to make things very interesting here. Also, why is that spoiler on Michael McDowell's car white? I mean, the rest of the spoilers out there are all colored to match the cars. Why is his white?
Because he wants to be different than the other yellow car, Ryan.
I guess so. But, yeah. Oh, there's one of my dad's favorite drivers, Noah Gragson. They're going through on the starting grid. Allmendinger, he's definitely going to be my favorite Xfinity driver this year.
He's a favorite?
Allmendinger? Yeah,
no, Gragson.
Gragson, yeah, that's my dad's favorite. One of my dad's favorites. Gragson, Eric Jones, trying to remember who his other ones are. Dad, if you're in chat, go ahead and type them out. But Yeah, I know Gregson and Jones are two of his favorites. And say then we got there. Oh, there's Josh Berry. I think he's one of 2 rookies in this race. You got Zane Smith, who's starting right at the back of the field here. Hey, Patrick saying let's go anyone but Elliott.
Good old Patrick. Still got to take shots at me.
Yep.
Wouldn't be him without it.
Yep.
Although, this is the race for him because Elliott's not in this race. So,
yep. As Elliott came up second in Duel 1, and they're doing the pass-through on pit road here.
Yep, that means he'll start in the third position.
He'll start 5th. Because Logano and McDowell already have the front row spots, so it'll be second place would be row 3.
I thought Larson was going to win it, but that was a good move that Reddick.
Yeah, Reddick made the right move there. So who do we think? Who do we want to put down for our 4 favorites for this race? I'm thinking Kyle Busch is a no-brainer. I'm thinking Byron. I'll put down.
I'm gonna put Bubba Wallace.
You think Bubba Wallace for Duel 2?
Mm-hmm. Yep, Bubba Wallace and Denny Hamlin.
All right, well, we'll put Denny Hamlin down too. All right.
So you got 2, I got 2.
Yep. Typically, I go with the top 4, but the top 4 tonight is definitely not a guarantee to be the top 4 coming to the end of the race. So,
there we
go. So, I put together a little poll for the chat to interact with, to go ahead and vote on who they think is going to win this. Am
I allowed to vote?
So they can go ahead and vote. Yeah, anyone but me can vote. I can't vote because I'm the one that that's hosting it. So.
Since I'm on here, I will not vote, just to keep it even, because I don't want the unfair advantage.
Yep. But who do you think is... I'm going to say Kyle Busch wins it, just because, the bias. Also, I think he has just as good a shot as anybody else in the field, so...
I mean, I would love to see Kyle Busch win this, but Denny Hamlin just has a knack for restrictor plates. And...
yeah, he does.
He just seems to be in the right place at the right time every sinking year. And
I think where it's a short race, he might not have time to necessarily find his way to the front. Although there is a guaranteed pit stop in the middle because it's a 60-lap race. I was surprised how far they went on the fuel, though, in the first duel.
Yeah, there was definitely some saving going on, but that bit Truex Jr. in the butt too. He was furious at his crew.
Yeah. And then there was Chastain, who I think got the only speeding penalty of the first race.
Mm-hmm. Hopefully communication is a little better in this heat. But stats show that there's more wrecks in the second heat than there is in the first one.
Yeah, because it's later in the night. You've already seen the level of intensity. But, yeah.
That and there's more rubber on it.
One of the 2 duels, though, is a little on the sloppy side, and I guess we're due for this one. What are your thoughts on the new body styles, by the way, since this is kind of the first big race we've had a chance to see the new body styles? Oh,
yeah, I mean, I do like the forward body built, and I do like the Toyota body built. The Toyota is definitely pushed better. The Fords have the top end speed, so I can see them kind of ganging up on the Chevys in this duel.
Yeah, I know we kind of talked a lot about Daytona qualifying last night. But here we go. Lights are off on the pace car. Means they're going to be going green flag this time by. So there we go. All right, Monster Energy car. That's gonna be Riley Herbst in this duel, right? Because the other Monster
Yep.
car was in the last duel with Ty Gibbs.
Yep, that is correct. Did you happen to see the Hendrick
The red
Martinsville
cars.
ski? Yes, the Ruby Reds.
Yeah, I didn't know what the reason for the theming was, but I did see the paint schemes and they look really good. I think Bowman's is probably either Bowman or not Bubba, either Bowman or Byron are probably my least favorite of the four. But I think the big thing for Byron's scheme is that I just want the flames to be a different color from the rest of the car, not red on red.
It's celebrating 40 years.
Yep.
40 years of Hendrick.
Well, I say Patrick saying he can't wait to race with us again this week. To be back and racing with us this week because he managed to get his DLC and everything working now. As we got the pace car pulling off pit road or pulling down to pit road, diving for cover, leaving the field in the hands of Michael McDowell and Austin Cindric. As we see
And
green flag.
somewhere, some way, Darrell Waltrip is yelling at his TV, "Boogity, boogity, boogity!"
Let's go racing, boys! And there we go. Looks like maybe a plan there for the two Fords on the front row for McDowell to move down in front of Cindric on the start there, and the top line just evaporated. The Kyle Busch also finding a way down to that inside line early on.
Mm-hmm.
And
here comes the rating defending champion. He found his way to the bottom, and he's just kind of just riding along. That's something that we may end up seeing in this one. We may see some single file.
Yep. I'm going to say, especially early on, it looks like the entire front half of the field was like, yep, we're just getting in the single file line because we don't want to end up being double file when we go for pit stops. I'd be curious, though, to see if maybe some of those Toyotas, because they're starting so far back, could we see them potentially try and make a plan to pit at the early end of the pit cycle, so at like lap 20, 25-ish?
And try to use that to their advantage to get ahead of all the Fords.
Yeah, use that as an advantage, or even potentially talk together with the Fords to try and make that as a plan to try and jump the Chevys. Or potentially vice versa, talk with the Chevys to try and help jump the Fords, but because that's kind of been Toyota's problem for a while, is that they need to try and figure out what they're doing in terms of in terms of being able to actually win the numbers game, because they have significantly less drivers than every other manufacturer out here. So
yeah, for sure. But looks like we're getting more 2x2 now. The outside lane's picking up steam. With Riley Herbst being the leader in that.
Yep. And say Riley Herbst, you also got another Stewart Haas car there on the outside line.
Mm-hmm. Well, you might need to turn your mic up a little bit.
Oh,
I can do that.
All right.
I can do that for sure. How's that?
That's good.
You go ahead and try and make this actually.
I apologize for being late.
Yep, no worries.
Redoing my iRacing Toyota since they changed the body on me.
First world problems.
All right, there we go.
Now, just so we can get timing wise, what part of the track are they on right now? Or what's
just out of the trioval?
Okay, so they just passed the start finish line on my side. So you're a little ahead of me. I'm a little ahead of Ryan. Yeah. So
I don't know how far ahead of me Freddie is.
Yeah, I just saw them I just saw them cross start finish line here to start lap 5.
I'm halfway down the backstretch. I'm in the future.
They're coming out of the turn, so you gotta wait a couple of seconds to me. I gotta wait a couple of seconds to Ryan. So whatever you see, if there's a wreck or anything, just wait about 5 seconds. Pretty much wait for him to react.
I will try to hold my reactions. I'm from the future.
Future.
Unfortunately, you're not from far enough in the future to the point where I could get where you could end up helping us bet on the Daytona 500 in a couple days, right?
Yes.
Or even help
I
me
need all the
craft the
notes.
perfect NASCAR fantasy lineup would be a help.
I got mine in.
Yeah, I haven't gone and made my picks yet. I'm kind of waiting for when I film the video tomorrow, but I also wanted to be able to see how the cars raced in the duels rather than making the picks entirely based off of the qualifying run. Because as we're seeing tonight, the Chevys have a lot of speed here, despite them being a little bit slower than they were last year.
Yep. And now we got ourselves a race, Ryan.
Yep.
Yeah.
Say, William Byron and
McDonald's.
Kyle Busch have both popped out to the outside lane here.
Is that me?
Yep, there's that 23 by Will Bain. Bubba Wallace.
Yep.
Did you remake that car, Will?
Did I fix it? Nope, I'm still stuck. Hang on.
Nope.
He'll be back.
Yep, he will be.
And the 24 car to the lead.
Yep, number 24 to the lead. I'm assuming Kyle Busch pushed him out front there.
Kyle Busch's car looks like the Focus Factor car.
Yeah, it does look a lot like the Focus Factor colors from last year with Eric Jones.
If that's Brett out there, they better watch out.
Yeah. Yeah, it all depends on who's driving that number, who's driving that car, whether it's based off the colors or whether it's based off the number. If it's the number, we don't gotta worry.
Give me a paint scheme pack now, and I want that car.
Yeah, me too. I don't get to drive it because I'm not the number 8, but
if it's the 8 car,
like a paint
we're at a
scheme pack where I
track.
get the Long John Silver's car from last year for McDowell, though. So right now they're on board here with Bell in the back of the pack as he and Bubba Wallace are working their way up to the front. They got other Toyotas in that single file line too. I'm assuming. Nemechek. Nemechek might be one row further back, but I think he's in that top line as well.
Now
they got a little momentum.
Yeah, the white and green car. He's a couple rows further back, but he is in the same line.
Coming from the chats, Caroline. My daughter's in bed now, but yeah, I'll definitely let her know about Yellow. And Keystone says, "Hi, Will."
Yep.
Hello.
So
I'm in the future.
We got the chat going, and here we go. Oh, we got to run to the outside. Riley Herbst and
run to the outside, but
making something look
commercial.
Oh,
there's a commercial coming.
Commercial. Yep.
Yeah. As
10
we
laps
stare into the
complete.
eyes
Seems
of
about
Willie B.
See here's the thing. What I'm watching doesn't have ads. I just get race, with no announcing sound, so I can tell you everything that's happening.
All right, well,
I'm
go
useful.
ahead and enlighten us on what's going on.
While you're doing that, I'm embracing this Godzilla trailer.
Top line is making a little bit of momentum. It's constant feedback from Freddie in my ear. They're rolling according to Freddie. It's really hard. It looks really hard to suck up to people unless they're just really being easy because we're only like 11 laps in. Because Bubba will get about one car behind the car in front of him and just kind of stop. That's how this car works when you're trying to get momentum. You don't really push. I don't know how, or maybe they're just trying to work out whether if you push with this new Toyota, it'll get the car in front of you really loose. The cameraman just kind of panned the camera off the top of that car a little bit, and it kind of scared me. Thought it was a wreck. Thought the car was going around.
Yeah, does that to us.
Had a little bit of a heart attack there. Uh,
Let's say, according to the chat,
two-car
they seem to
tandem
think
out
that
front.
Kyle Busch is going to win
It's
the. They think Kyle Busch is going to win this one.
54-24, 2 wide for the lead, 8 pushing the 24 on the bottom. On the top, we have, I don't know who that second car in line is there yet. That's the 10 car, Noah Gragson looks like.
Yep.
I feel like an auctioneer.
Yeah, that's pretty much how race commentary is trying to keep up with cars going 200 miles an hour.
Willie B is, not me, but the other one, is 1 car out front by himself. Now
Willie
he's back
B or
to 2
Willie
wide
not
with the
B?
54. That's the question.
That is the question.
On you that, like week in, week out. Like, oh no, here comes Willie B.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh Lord, I forgot his name. Bubba's engineer just came over saying that the 15 car is like 50% the whole way around the track. 50% throttle. That's Riley Herbst in the 15.
Yeah, probably saving
it was
fuel
my pick
trying to
to
make
Dark
it.
Horse pick to win.
Yeah, I anticipate probably they're saving fuel to try and do what a lot of the drivers
And we're
did
back.
last time around, because last race they were saving a ton of fuel mileage.
And we're back.
That is not Ty Gibbs. That's Riley Herbst. See, there's the problem.
Yep.
I can't tell them apart.
Yeah, well, Ty Gibbs isn't out there. He was in Duel 1.
Well, still, God bless a
That'll make
spotter.
it easier.
500.
Yeah, when it comes to the Daytona 500, that's going to be a nightmare. Hey, at least Tyler Reddick's not also running a black and green monster car, because theoretically they
it's
could have all
black and
three
yellow.
been doing it.
It's black and yellow.
Yeah,
It's
want
alcoholic.
black and yellow for that monster car. But yeah,
Can't
it
let
looks
Riley
like
Herbst
the top
run that.
line definitely
Is he
looks
even
to be
21?
the better line.
Is Riley Herbst even 21 yet?
I think so. I think he is.
Noah Gregson almost spun the 15 car around just then.
Yep. And say here comes the number 16 to the bottom of the line. He's going to try and take the lead on the bottom of the racetrack. AJ Allmendinger, plate racing
We may
veteran
be
here.
synced back up. We may be synced back up now.
Okay, we might be.
Heard.
All right, cool.
I'm coming out of.
It
I'm
showed
coming out
Riley
of.
Herbst was 24.
Yeah, and say I'm watching them going drag racing down there. And yeah, he's 24 years old, so yeah, he's definitely old enough to go for some monster unleashed. I think is what they.
So it's
call
just
their
they don't want to
alcohol
run that
brand.
on Ty Gibbs' car because of Jesus, even though Jesus turned water into wine.
Yep.
Jesus
Well,
Jesus
I think
turned
they're
water
just trying
into
to
wine,
promote a
not into
variety of
monster,
brands, 'cause-
whatever it's called.
Hmm.
Jesus turned water into wine, not Monster Beast.
Yep. And then we got Davey Reagan running around at the back of the field with Brad Keselowski. Those two teammates there potentially planning something.
Bubba just screamed over the radio to tell Christopher Bell to calm down.
Yeah, I kind of miss the days where the drivers could actually tune into the radios of each other and yell at each other directly rather than having to yell to somebody else. Oh, they can?
We can.
Oh, yeah, we
Every
can
Thursday.
during the Thomas Cup races, yep.
And we do yell at each other.
Yep. Speaking of which, did you guys see the JP style move that JJ Yaley pulled on Jimmie Johnson in the last duel, where he shoved him down onto the apron to try and stop him from passing?
Yup.
Yeah, looked like it
saw
almost
Ross
exactly like
Chastain.
what I've seen JP do to
Taylor
me.
brought it up in our chat that Ross Chastain slowed JJ Yaley up so Jimmy can make it.
Yeah. And Jimmy definitely had the faster car regardless, but it was going to be down to which line moved faster there at the end.
So with how things are going, on a scale of 1 to 10, how risky is it for Michael McDowell to be in the spot that he's at right now?
I would
No, he's
not like that,
Not in
but
spot.
at this point I would almost be telling him like, hey, just try and wait it out. You do have those two Penske affiliated Fords because he's now a Penske affiliate. The Front Row Racing is now an affiliate to Penske, so theoretically he could be working out with those two to figure out when they want to try and pit. And if they can get those Fords together better than what the Toyotas did in the first race, that would be an easy time to try and pull out a line and maybe find himself back either at the front or then decide after the pit stop what he wants to do.
Yeah, they just showed that Josh Berry so far has the fastest lap of the heat.
Yeah. Sorry, just the fastest lap of this one, right? Not fastest
Yep.
between the
Here
two.
I come.
Yep, this one.
Yeah. I will say, though, I love
Watch
the
out,
Sunny D
Patrick.
car.
Here I come.
But here they go, and say, yep, they're going to drop down, and say 2 more Fords added to the front of that field down on the
You're
bottom
about
of the
15 seconds
racetrack.
behind me.
And just like we were talking about earlier, Ryan, here comes those Toyotas on the outside.
Yep. You got Bubba, you got Bell. And say, I know I've seen Nemechek up there. Has Hamlin found his way up into that top line or not?
Nope, he's still back in 17th.
Okay, because, I know we had been talking about John Hunter. John Hunter Nemechek moved down to the bottom line, too, at some point.
Traitor.
I mean, granted, he was like 12 rows back from the other Toyotas, but yep.
Man,
John
Chris
Hunter
Hertzfeld
Nemechek
back
looks
all
like a
over,
guy
trying to
that's
block
just
both
always
lanes.
happy to be here.
Christopher Bell is all over the back of Bubba.
Yep. And say trying to get as much momentum going as possible so that hopefully they can maybe do something. But right now, Riley Herb's just trying to control both lines of traffic here.
Kind of dangerous to do at this point.
Ryan has a car that has to. Oh, hang on. Bubba's yelling again.
Oh.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
Has a car that has to transfer in through the duels ever won the duel?
Not in the last couple of years since we started getting fields back up over 40 for the first time in a little while. We haven't seen it happen recently, but I think the closest we had was a couple years ago. I think it was I think Ty Dillon was in the mix inside the top 5 looking to try and go for it. And got passed by the 62, who was also an open car at that point, and bumped Ty Dillon into the Gaunt Brothers car out.
So the answer is no.
Yeah, not that I'm aware of anytime recently. I'm sure it's happened at some point in Daytona's 60-plus year history.
Commercial time.
Yep. Going to commercial break.
Oh,
Riley
look.
Herbst
Look what I'm doing.
pacing him. But, yeah.
Follow me, Connor.
Yeah, because that's the weird thing about the way that the qualifying for the Daytona 500 works compared to most other races. Because, if, for example, let's just say, for example, David Reagan ends up being the fastest car in this session, it would promote another driver to be in on speed instead of David Reagan, which I believe I would have to take a look at the qualifying rundown. Let me see who was actually the next fastest in terms of Daytona 500 qualifying.
Me. Bubba says the middle works best for the Toyotas. That's where they're fastest.
Yep. So it was Anthony Alfredo in 20th. He was in. Reagan in 27th. Then you had Jimmie Johnson, who's already raced his way in. I'm not sure how that would necessarily work because he's already raced his way in. I think BJ McLeod would be in on speed if David Reagan, so kasgrala needs to win.
Well, BJ McLeod is 6th, so he's doing all right.
Yeah, so BJ McLeod just needs to not lose to kasgrala.
So if kasgrala finishes ahead of BJ McLeod's out?
Yep.
Interesting. But not before he went to commercial. It didn't look like kasgrala was really doing much of anything. He was just kind of hanging out in the back.
Yeah, he's hanging out at the back with the other Roush cars, potentially working on that pit stop plan.
You know what paint scheme I really miss?
Which one?
Is that Tommy Ballwood Racing Golden Corral car?
Oh, yep.
That's that car was kind of dope.
Yeah, it is a really good car. I was gonna say the old Dale Jarrett UPS car is one of those that I always liked looking at.
Fun fact, that's what my
especially on
brother's
some of
named
the
after.
classic races. I know we got a chance to see a little bit of that in the throwback race last year with Ross Chastain, but
Which one of his UPS schemes? The big brown one?
the brown one with like the yellow highlights. I like the little bit of difference in the paint scheme, but
And we're back from commercial, and Bubba Wallace is out in front with Christopher Bell right behind him.
It's
Yep.
me. It's my 20-car teammate at DSR with Metal Motorsports.
yep.
And then right behind
we
us,
couldn't find a
up in
way
the
to throw
top
any
lane.
more acronyms onto that, so it's DSRWMM.
And
I was in the other race.
And I'm on the inside right behind my 24 teammate and Valentina Fazzi.
Yep.
Valentino Fuzzy.
And then you've got another Warrior Motorsports car number behind you as well.
Yeah, you're in
isn't
this
that the
race too,
4
Ryan.
car
You're
there
in the
behind
top lane.
him.
Yeah, see, we knew what we were doing when we picked the numbers.
Yeah, they just happen to be working together here. Not sure where my 34 is compared to. Oh, I'm in the top line with my.
You're in the top lane. You're with us. Our other teammate was in the first race.
Yep. Yeah, he was all by himself in the first race. But yeah, right now though, Bubba Wallace has gotten out in front, and he could potentially try and control both lanes. You hearing anything on his radio about him potentially looking to make the move down to the bottom?
No, they're happy running right where they're at.
All right. So just checking the poll results, it still looks like the crowd is thinking Kyle Busch is the most likely driver to win. Then we got Denny Hamlin, and then a tie for third between Bubba and William Byron on the poll.
He could block the bottom if he wanted to, really.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I think he might be waiting to see if Christopher Bell can get clear as well, and then the two of them can block together.
Bell's gotten clear like 800 times this, and they haven't dropped. So,
well, it could be that they didn't think they were clear enough to make that move down.
I mean, they're clear. Well, they're not clear right now, but
yeah,
they are now.
Sometimes they might just think that
right
the top line has more momentum.
But like Will said earlier, those Toyotas like to run like right in the middle.
Yeah,
which is right where they're going at.
It prevents you from getting put in the hole. So
yeah, you don't want to end up like Corey LaJoy did last race, stuck in the middle of 3 wide and drifting way further back.
I think
Zane Smith up into the top 3. There we go.
Speaking of Corey LaJoy, anybody scan that QR code and play the Chili's game?
It was going too fast.
No.
I couldn't scan the race
I'm
car.
out of coffee.
Yeah, the race car was kind of going a little bit quick. But yeah, BJ McLeod though is showing some impressive speed. I actually wouldn't mind seeing him make the field with that kind of speed that he's got. And there we go. Yep, Christopher Bell and Bubba both moved down to the bottom of the racetrack, and Zane Smith also got down in front of Herbst.
You want a spoiler? I can tell you why they did that.
Why?
Because they're getting ready to pit in a few laps.
Okay, yeah. And saying lap 30 is kind of that magic lap where in race 1, I know I was talking a lot about lap 30 being the pit stop lap.
But no longer hot enough to melt my sweetener.
But then everybody kind of waited until like lap 40 or so to start actually getting in line for pit stops in race 1. Between 40 and 45 was when everybody pit. But
back to commercial.
I do like the idea of the Toyotas getting in line earlier rather than trying to do it at the last moment and getting wrecked like they did in the first race, kind of. Although, ironically, I think Toyota actually didn't have a single bit of contact with the near stack-up that happened. At least it's a side-by-side commercial, so we can still see the track.
What do you mean they didn't? Tyler Reddick almost spun.
Yeah, Reddick almost spun, but in terms of like the significant contact, it was Austin Dillon into Todd Gilliland was the significant contact there, because those two hit the fence.
Huh?
In race 1. Right?
No, it was Daniel Hemrick.
No, Hemrick was
Or are
in
you talking
the
about something else?
Hemrick was in the big stack up later that brought the one
Yeah.
yellow flag out. We're talking about the almost wreck that happened as the Toyotas were trying to pit in the first race.
Oh, yeah.
Tyler Reddick almost got spun out, and then Austin Dillon ended up going right up the track into Todd Gilliland, trying to avoid the wreck.
I straight up forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, look, Storm Curry's in this race.
Yep. And driving a lot more sanely than normal.
And then you also
don't worry,
got
the 45 is not in this race. He ain't gonna piss nobody off.
No.
you got the 10 and Roger Davis.
And say you also got the his
No.
teammate in the 51 there, Terry's out there as well.
Shout out to Roger. Hello.
Yep, and hey, my dad's in chat too. My dad just happens to be hanging out in the chat. Hey, Dad. How's it going?
How's it going, Mr. Dyer?
Justin Haley up into the top 5 there. There we go. Haley looking like he's going to show some speed here.
And now this is the time that Michael McDowell is like finally able to kind of coast his way to the back.
Coast his way to the back.
Except
he's moving his way. He's up to 5th. He's coasting his way to the front of the field here.
I did that just to get
DSR and
a
Metal
reaction
Motorsports train up front.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, he is definitely not coasting to the rear right now.
Oh, I know. But I just wanted to see the reaction when I said that.
Yep.
Because it was,
Top
it was
five
very
Am I the only
is
person though that
Bubba,
was
Christopher
surprised?
Bell, BJ McLeod, Justin Haley, and Michael McDowell, followed by Zane Smith, Austin Cindric, the 15 car. I guess the 21. I can't really see. It's really far away.
Yeah,
I don't know
21
who
is
Temp is.
next.
Harrison Burton. That's Harrison Burton.
Yep.
Oh, is that Noah Gregson in 10th?
Noah Gregson's in 11th right now. Blaney's technically 10th, but I'm assuming they're side by side for position.
You also got to remember Will's in the future, Ryan.
Oh yeah. Well,
they're
probably
back and forth.
Yeah, they're absolutely deadlocked right side by side. So I mean that position, depending on the second to second, could be different.
Oh, Barris and Hurton.
Yep. Say so. The weird thing is that you got 2 Toyotas at the front of the field, but then you got Hamlin and Nemechek stuck way back in the pack. Nemechek's up in the top line. I don't know where Denny Hamlin is. He's somewhere in the further back there.
And the thing is, one thing that I'm noticing is everybody is trying to stay out longer.
Yeah, everybody's dragging this as long as possible. Potentially, I don't know if the plan is to try and take less fuel or what the plan there is.
Oh, they probably only got like maybe 3 more laps left.
Yeah, well, I mean, in the first race they were able to make it to lap 45, but lap 40 is usually kind of where I assume the limit starts to be reached. Somewhere between 40 to 45.
Anything about that?
It's possible that some of the new car designs, though, are maybe
But
more fuel efficient than the old models.
They got a number they're aiming for.
Oh yeah,
the 23
I'm sure they do.
team does. And they're +2 of that number right now. So they must have saved a little more
Yep.
past their target.
So all the Penske and Penske affiliate cars are in the top line right now, so they must not be planning on pitting. The Fords were really late to the pit road in the first duel. Duel 1, you had Logano and the Fords were, I think they were the group that waited till 45, 46 to come to pit road. So.
Must be happening within a lap or so because Bubba's crew's getting ready.
Yeah, and both the Toyotas just moved down to that inside line to try and make it easier to get to pit road. So, yep. I would anticipate.
And here
they come. They come in? No, they don't come. I thought they were going to drop down right there. I think the Fox cameras thought they were too with the camera angle they chose.
Yep, and here's where the nerves begin. Because you know pit stops are coming, and you're just hoping everybody is aware and on the same page.
Yep.
This is where stress happens.
Yeah, in fact, this is a time where if I'm Bubba or Bell, I'm trying to tell Bell to help get us as far ahead of the group as we can so we have a little bit of a bubble to drop out of line. That way we don't necessarily have to tell everybody behind that, hey, we're coming.
I think that's happening.
And yep, here we go. Let's see. And they stay out again. Once again, they wait another time around. 23 laps to go.
That supposed to have got me.
Oh, it's wait, that's the replay of the earlier race. I thought that was the back half of the pack that. Yeah, I thought that was the back half of the pack that somebody tried to come to pit road, and then I realized, nope, that's Jimmie Johnson. Which means that was the first race. But yeah, right now though, everybody's just kind of falling into lockstep here. They highlighting the Toyotas, but they could not be further apart there in the field.
Man.
They're just all letting off so Bubba can win.
They want that free McDonald's the next day.
Yep.
Give me that filet fish.
Give me that fish. Oh.
Yeah, saying right now we're just kind of counting down the laps, waiting to see which group's gonna be the first one to jump to pit road.
And Ryan, I would say take some notes on this because we're seeing like how long these cars can actually go as long as they stay in the pack.
Yeah, I mean, the question is, could they potentially try and make the Daytona 500 into a full fuel mileage race by going 50 laps, 50 laps, 50 laps, and then making it to the end for the Daytona 500? I think it's on the outside possibility, but they're starting to make it look like it's a lot more possible. I'd be saying that practice session, is the practice tomorrow, the practice session?
I believe so.
So, yeah, in that practice session, I would be absolutely trying to test the limits of the fuel mileage to see if we could if there is a plan to try and make it 50 laps on fuel. Because if you can't make it 50 laps, it doesn't really change the dynamic of the race a ton. If you can make it 50 laps, though, it changes the entire dynamic of the race. And now they're starting to all come into a single file line. Are we going to see any pit stops this time by? Nope.
Well, Clint Boyer thinks they're coming every time they hit the backstretch.
Yeah, well, I'm wondering if you're the two Toyotas, if you're trying to put your hands out the window to try and get the drivers behind you to go to pit road and allow the Toyotas to potentially group up that way by being the last ones to pit. I don't think that's the smartest idea, but it might be the best plan that they got because there isn't much else they can do to try and pair up two guys that are in first, second, 16th, and 20th. So
there is nobody at the track.
Yeah, nobody showed up for the duels. I wish I could have been there. That would have been fun. And once again going by and no pit stops occurring. Michael McDowell, one of the few cars still in that outside lane. Actually, all the Penske affiliates are all still in that outside lane, so. And we saw them go as far as humanly possible in the first race, so. Did the 78 come to pit road?
Yes.
Okay, 78 did come to pit road, so we have had one pit stop so far, and here comes the rest, or half of them at least, the Toyotas. And looks like a Toyota Chevy mix. You got Byron, you got Busch, you got Allmendinger. Looks like maybe one or two Fords in the mix as well. But yeah, it looks like that Penske mix is still out there though, with most of the Fords. McDowell,
Oh,
Cindric,
but Kyle Busch
Burton,
almost ran Bubba
Blaney,
over.
Keselowski. Hamlin opted not to pit, which is weird. Then you got Reagan, Briscoe. Grala is still out there. Smith.
Why didn't you pit with the rest of your team, Ryan?
Because the rest of my real team are right behind me. And here we go. Here we're coming to pit road. The Fords are coming down to pit road. And oh, please don't speed. Hopefully that wasn't speeding on pit road. I saw the tire smoke. That was a lot of tire smoke there for the 34.
It's all right. He's a road course guy. He knows how to stop.
Oh, yeah, he knows how to stop. I just don't know how quickly he got slowed down for a speed limit, because speed limits are still something that race car drivers aren't exactly fans of.
Zane Smith, too fast.
Okay, Zane Smith was too fast. Okay, so far, Grala, Reagan, Keselowski, Blaney, and Burton, the final few guys out there. Weird that the rest of the Penske affiliates didn't come when McDowell did. I thought the rest of the Penske affiliates were going to come with him, but only Cindric did. And here comes that Chevy Toyota group up behind McDowell and his group of Fords.
Chevy Yodas.
Yep, the Chevy Yodas. And say these, this Ford mix here between Penske and RFK, they're gonna get absolutely swamped here.
It looked like there was a car that just blended straight up onto the track straight off pit road. That should be a penalty.
Yeah, that was kasgrala who blended right in front of the field. I don't know what the specific rule is about where they're supposed to merge. I know on iRacing they're very strict about you got to merge up on the back straightaway. I get dinged for penalties for drifting two wheels up there all the time on qualifying runs. And it's like, it's single car qualifying. There ain't no other cars out here. I don't need a penalty for that.
Let's see how we can get back up to the front here.
Yeah.
Because it worked first time.
Yep.
But now we don't have to like save or anything.
Yeah, now they can run full steam ahead, and now you've got McDowell, Hamlin, and Cindric at the front of the field.
Maybe kasgrala was just
you
slow.
also have a battle between Reagan and McLeod for that final spot in the race. Oh, Reagan's not the battle; it's Grala's the battle. Because Reagan time trialed in on Wednesday night. So here we go. We got McDowell, Hamlin, Cindric, Byron.
You and JP leading the field.
Yep. This in any other situation, I would be terrified seeing this combo. But for right now, I'm not gonna be too worried about this for right now. But yep, Denny Hamlin moved all the way up there into second place. And Briscoe up to 8th place there. And this field has kind of reformed itself. 14 to go here. Byron and Blaney both making some moves. Cindric making moves. Oh, Kyle Busch makes a move and it's a wreck. There's a big one. Yep. There's the big one at Daytona. Kyle Busch involved. Ryan Blaney involved. I see the 15 spun as well. Not sure who else is all in this. I see Noah Gragson turned around, but that's a lot of fire for
Blaney was on fire, yeah.
Yep, Blaney is on fire, not in a good way. Yep, and there's fire underneath Kyle Busch's car too. Get out of there, Kyle. And here we go.
Gragson drove straight into the back of Bubba. Didn't even try to slow up for the wreck.
Yep.
Spun him around. Bubba said his steering wheel's at 9 o'clock. I don't know if
Would that mean that
there's
he's
any
holding it
worse
at
damage?
essentially a 90-degree angle to go straight? Because if so, that's really messed up. McLeod's got
Yes.
BJ McLeod's got damage too, so this could be saving grace for Grala. Grala was out of the pack when this happened.
That's a whole month's paycheck for BJ McLeod.
A month? That might be his annual salary right there.
Not after he sold that charter.
Well, yeah, true. The charter might pay for it, but
Him and Matt Tift are set for life.
not if they do that too many more times.
And you watch the top up here, you'll see that 10 car drive straight into the back of McDonald's.
Yep. Yeah, I'm just starting the replay. And they're highlighting William Byron's car. I will say it's cool that they can actually do like the little flash over the cars rather than having to do like the little MS Paint red circle thing that they used to do.
Yeah, Bubba didn't hit anything. I think he'll be all right.
Yeah, as long as the contact
He
with
did
Riley,
finish
as long
second
as the
in the
contact with
Daytona
Riley Herbst's
500
car didn't mess
without a
anything
fender.
up, because the front end of his car did hit Riley Herbst's car, so as long as that didn't mess anything up, should be okay. But these cars can be so sensitive these days.
Well, he finished second in a Daytona 500 without a right front fender one time. So
Yeah. Which year was that? Was that 2022 or 2020? Or
no, it's
not
the
20?
year that it's the year that he won because Austin Cindric pushed him below the line, and yes, I will die on this hill till the day I die.
Hey,
On this hill.
I made that argument for you in I think was it Power Rank? No, wait, no, it was my it was my beginner's guide to the season, where I went and made where I made that same reference, talking about how depending on how you want to interpret the rules, theoretically NASCAR could have given him both Daytona 500s, because if they'd black flagged Dylan for the unnecessary contact to wreck Amarola in the 2018 500, Bubba could have won that one too. Although NASCAR flagging for unnecessary contact is a lot less common than any other motorsport.
All right. So what's going to happen here, according to Mr. Robert Barker III? They're just going to come in, change the right side tires, and while Bubba holds the wheel straight with the orange mark in the middle, they're going to just adjust the toe, and he should be all right. He just got a little left side headlight damage. That's all.
All right. The red flags come out, so they got time to try and come up with a plan to fix some of these cars. The 51 came slamming into the back of the 10 car as well, so that was another car involved that I hadn't seen until this replay.
What? These young kids don't know how to stop for wrecks?
Yeah, it's all.
Where have I seen that before? iRacing, of course.
I say iRacing, NASCAR Heat 5, any video game ever, where they try and hit the gas pedal to get through the wrecks instead.
Trying to be a superhero.
Where else have I seen that before?
Oh, real life, just now.
Yeah, real life just now, but in particular, I've seen it with what's his name at the Indy 500, Santino Ferrucci, who always uses the gas pedal to try and get through wrecks. Like, I don't think I've ever seen that guy actually use a brake pedal to avoid a wreck. It's always the gas pedal to avoid the wreck.
Well, Noah Gregson never seen a wreck he didn't want to be a part of.
Yep. And rumor has it he is still crashing into the barrier in Chicago as we speak as well.
Kyle Busch. Same barrier 3 times in a row. Kyle Busch did the same thing, the same place.
Yeah. Kyle Busch did it only once, though. It was Gregson's the one that did it 4 times in a row. Is Jamie coming back, or is he? Did he have to go be a parent?
I don't know. I gotta go be a parent and get my iPhone.
All right.
Woo! My mic almost fell in my coffee.
Yeah, I went and shifted around the screen regions to fit you back in there. So I already got that taken care of. So if he doesn't come back, it's good. And if he does come back, I got a quick adjustment to fix it. But yeah,
I wanted to
right
get
now,
my phone
looks
so I
like
could
we
pull
got
up the chat.
41% of the vote says Kyle Busch is going to win this duel. But yeah, that was a very big wreck for a duel because the duels don't typically have gigantic wrecks. I mean, sometimes you'll see a 5-6 car pile up, maybe, but that's usually as big as they ever go. And that wreck was at least 6 or 7 cars. Michael McDowell, though, avoiding it. He gets to start out front again. And you really don't want to be a part of that wreck if you're McDowell. Because if you have to go to a
I don't
backup
want to be a
car,
part
that
of
would
that
be...
either.
Well, if you have to go to a backup car as McDowell, you go from starting on the front row, no matter where you finish position-wise, to starting in the back of the field with a backup.
The chat of the where I'm watching the race says somebody said, "Didn't someone tell them it's not Sunday yet?"
Yep.
It's so funny that you say "yup" because the comment right above it says "yup."
Yup. Yeppers.
Above that big wreck, then let's go.
Yep. We got 11 people in chat here hanging out with us, watching the duels for the 500. What some of these drivers might think is the 500. Oh,
Yeah.
Patrick said he missed it. So, you want to recap what we just saw?
Looked like somebody. I don't know where the wreck started because I wasn't
William
paying
Byron
attention to
was
anybody
where it
but one
started.
person.
Yeah, it looked like William Byron got loose there in front of Kyle Busch and a bunch of others.
So Tino got loose in front of Jamie, and then that we had a bit of a kerfuffle. Roger got in the back of me because Roger forgot to stop for the wreck.
Give him a break. He hasn't raced in a while. He's not used to this.
Yeah, he's got to get. Well, he's had 40 laps.
47.
I don't know how to count. Leave me alone.
Yep. And say you ready for Richmond?
No.
Nope.
I don't like that place.
And
They don't like me.
Because, yeah, we're racing Richmond in a week.
Yeah, and then I'll have probably tomorrow morning an updated, not really updated, because nothing has really changed for the entry list.
Yeah. Yeah, nothing will probably change for the entry list until until probably like Tuesday or Wednesday before the race. So, yeah, they're doing a quick little clip
Kevin
here
Harvick
from
thingy.
the I Am Harvick documentary, I'm assuming. It's definitely something Kevin Harvick related, I just don't know what it is. I'm assuming it's got to be the Harvick documentary, though.
Out of 16 drivers, only 5 are unconfirmed so far.
Yep.
That
Do you
includes...
have Patrick down as an unconfirmed?
Yes, I do have Patrick down as unconfirmed.
Okay.
I will happily confirm Patrick.
We know he's in chat.
Cooperate. Yes. It all comes down to his Xbox wanting to cooperate with us.
Oh, he already got it figured out. I was talking with him today.
Yeah.
So, yep. And now they're back to showing the guys in the booth, which tells me we haven't gotten any action going on. Because
no.
Usually they wouldn't put the camera on the guys in the booth, even if they are talking. Unless there's nothing else going on the track.
How far behind is the chat?
We are back to yellow flag racing.
Not according to the little graphic at the top of the screen.
According to the graphic on NASCAR.com's graphic says
there
we're
it
back
is.
to yellow.
Now it's yellow.
Yep.
Fox just had to catch up.
Yeah,
Because it's Fox.
I'm gonna say on the broadcast, I'm still seeing the three guys talking in the booth with no overlay or with no leaderboard.
You'll see what I meant. It stayed red for a long time.
Yeah.
4 cars not going. It's just sitting there.
Oh no!
Taylor forgot to come back to his wheel.
Did Pulp stall the car?
No, Taylor just had to go get a beer. He ain't got back to his car yet.
Ah, okay. Makes sense. Believable.
Also unconfirmed, Taylor.
Yeah. So I don't know if
I don't know
Taylor's
if pit
in
road's
here or
open,
not,
but somebody's going to pit road.
Yep. All right, let's see. So yeah, they're talking with Ryan Blaney. He's out the car. So I must be a ways behind you. If you're talking about it was showing red, I haven't seen a leaderboard. Still, I haven't seen one yet.
Yeah. It wasn't a full leaderboard. It was just a little NASCAR Cup Series graphic.
Okay. But yeah, so Blaney's out the car. He's going to have to start from the back of the field. Considering how many cars were involved in that wreck, I wouldn't be shocked if we have like half the field starting from the rear. All right, there we go. We got cars on pit road being fixed. We got Keselowski rolling up to the back of the field.
When I pulled up your chat on YouTube, it turned off my radio.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Scott, lock it down. It's the first thing I hear.
But, yeah, so David Reagan and kasgrala are now 8th and 9th. So they could say, I think kasgrala is pretty much guaranteed into the field as long as he beats Reagan. Now, if Reagan wins this, I think McLeod could still end up in the race, even though he wrecked out. So, yeah, so here we go.
Kyle Busch's face. Kyle Busch's face, then Riley Herbst behind him. That's going to be a meme.
Patrick's asking how he confirms. I think he just did by asking how does he confirm.
I mean, that's good enough. But normally just give a thumbs up to a thumbs up or a thumbs down to the where I post the entry list in the one of the chats. It doesn't matter either one.
Yeah, I don't know. I know he's in the Discord. I don't think he's in the
Facebook chat. That right there counts for this one. So whatever.
But, yep. Good enough. There we go. So yeah, there's Kyle Busch talking. Yeah, 12 laps to go, and they're under yellow flag conditions here. There are 3 Toyotas in that top group, though, so we could still see the Toyotas group up.
So it was Brad Keselowski that caused everything by giving Kyle Busch a push there. Of course it was Brad.
Yeah, of course it was Brad taking out Kyle. Although, what happened?
Brad took
I don't know.
The big wreck at Talladega in the fall, Brad caused too. They're right in front of me.
Now, in full clarity, I don't think Brad Keselowski had anything to do with the 12 car spinning out in front of them, which ultimately took both of them out.
Yeah,
actually, no,
fine.
Keselowski's still out there. He didn't even, he didn't even pit. Is this race gonna turn into the Clash from 2020, where we have like 6 cars that finish with Eric Jones having the torn up front end?
As long as Bubba gets the torn up front end, and he wins.
I mean, I'm sure you'd rather Bubba Wallace win without a torn up front end, but
I don't care how Bubba wins, just win.
Yeah, but if he has to go to a backup car, it doesn't matter if he wins or not.
No, he gets points. And then it'll be a 23-11 lockout of the duels.
Yep. All right, Barry getting shoved by a tow truck back. Luckily, he knows how to not wreck himself off the tow truck, unlike Natalie Decker, who somehow is still racing in the... I think she's racing in either trucks or ARCA this weekend.
They're just good. They're about to fix the right front toe for Bubba's car, and then they should be okay.
Yep, they got Blaney's car back to the hauler. And that car is a piece of junk at this point.
Whee!
Okay, Patrick's looking for the entry list because he didn't see you post it earlier. Or whenever the last time you posted it, what the entry list was for
You can
Richmond.
scroll up a little bit, he'll see it.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like the Discord chat's extremely active or anything.
No. I'm really happy with the scorecard. I think that's going to look, people are
Yeah.
going to enjoy that.
Yep. Yeah, I like the look of those too. And we got the in-car camera watching on board with Ryan Blaney as he goes spinning around, and you can see the fire going on outside the car.
Look pretty lit in there.
I don't mind look. I will say I'm glad that NASCAR didn't go to that camera before we knew whether or not Blaney was out the car and okay. Because that's something that I really don't like with Fox is when they go and show camera angles of either in car or on boards before we've gotten a chance to see whether or not the driver's okay. Because like after we know the driver's okay, go ahead, show the wreck because we know you're going to. Oh, and now we get the slow motion replay.
I mean, if I'm a new fan and I see this, I don't think the wrecks are that bad.
Patrick's saying he's in the general chat and he isn't saying it, but he hasn't seen the update.
Scroll up. Scroll up.
Let me go ahead and scroll up with him and see if I can find it. All right, where's my cursor here? Let's see. Oh, he gave it a Snorlax. Yep, there we go. Okay, yeah, I see his reaction there. Yeah, it doesn't. That did not take very long to scroll up to find that. All right.
I was listening to Bubba's radio.
Yep, no worries. So, kasgrala, David Reagan, and McLeod are all actually on track, it looks like. So, we could still have a battle for the final transfer spot. Right now, kasgrala, not kasgrala, but McLeod's got to be David Reagan's biggest fan, because if Reagan wins, I believe that promotes BJ McLeod in regardless of where McLeod finishes.
Catch the 51 car. Catch the 51 car.
Okay, Patrick is set to roll in the 15 car this week, or in 7 days' time for the Thomas Cup Series race at Richmond.
I just hope he understands how the playoff system works, and that it's not winning, you're in the next round.
Oh yeah, no,
I
explained it to him, and I think he understands.
He's got a lot of ground to make up if he wants to that last bonus point for P8.
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of told him that for the most part, I think his main goal is going to be to focus on round number 2. Try and win either round 2 or round 3 to get the automatic berth into the championship 4.
My goal is to lock in early.
Yeah.
And just chill out for the rest of them. And just accumulate bonus points.
I'm just hoping to make the championship 4, because at this point, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to even be a part of that championship 4 in September.
Freddie just came over the radio and said BJ was blocking his ass off.
Shocker. He kind of needs to. But here we go. 9 laps to go here. I believe are they doubling up this time by at the... Oh, no, they're already supposed to be doubled up. That is their attempt at doubling up? I mean, I thought we were bad at doubling up here as the pace car dives for cover on the pit road here. Leaving the field in the hands of Michael McDowell and Denny Hamlin. Green, green, green. Green flag's out. We're back to racing.
Got Napa pushing JP to the lead here past you.
Oh, no. Come on. No. Don't. Don't help JP pass me. I've never lost to JP before.
We'll never hear the end of it if he wins this race.
No, we will not. I say, because I'm one of a few people in our league who hasn't lost to him. Oh, there we go. Yep, JP blocking. JP tried to block me. Let's go. So Michael
Like
McDowell
Bubba still got some speed in that car.
Yeah, Michael McDowell and the 2 car both out there racing to the front. Now you got the 6 car of Keselowski also almost clear. Now you got the surge back on the inside from the 11 and the 20, but it's not going to be much. That top line's got a lot more organization in it and a lot more cars. And I think it's going to be hard for that inside line to make much happen, although they do have 3 Toyotas in line. Which, the fact that they got 3 cars that they know are all committed to each other is good, but at some point you're going to imagine that somebody's going to bail on the strategy. I'm just
Why in the world are they going to a restart right now? Or a replay?
Yeah, going to a replay.
Fox going to a slow-mo replay of this restart.
Yeah, probably trying to see if somebody either changed lanes before the start-finish line, maybe?
No.
What are they trying to find on the replay?
If somebody missed a gear.
Oh, okay.
Like it matters.
Yeah, no, I mean, unless it came down to jumping the restart. If they're going to potentially black flag, say, the 11 or somebody for jumping the restart, potentially. And if somebody missed a gear and that's what made it look like somebody jumped the restart, I could see that being a reason to go to the replay. But, yeah, nothing there looked too out of the ordinary here. As we got the Denny Hamlin versus Michael McDowell drag race for the lead. But yeah, that bottom line is starting to get the organization all together here.
This reminds me of a fall race at Talladega last year where no lane can make any progress.
So yeah, Patrick just typed out his understanding of the rules. I think that's at least from what I'm reading, that looks pretty accurate. But maybe there's a nuance
I can't pull up
missed.
YouTube right now because it'll cut my radio off.
Yep. Yeah, we've got 5 laps to go. We can read it afterwards here, but Hamlin and Bell starting to get the edge on Michael McDowell in that outside.
Oh, that sucks.
What happened? Oh, Denny Hamlin up the track and yep, right in front of Michael McDowell. That is very much a JP style move right there to make. And now I'm out of the line and McDowell's driving all the way to the back of the field here.
I'm back there, teammate. It's okay.
Yep. Problem is we only got 4 laps to make something happen, so let's get going. But
I'll try. I'm missing an eyeball.
Yeah, that is literally a JP style block right there. Because you know people are coming from behind you with way more speed, and you just make the move to block.
Oh, if they're gonna drive like that, they may wreck again. So
yeah, they might. I just don't want McDowell to end up as part of the wreck. Because, I mean, he's on the front row. There's nothing for him to gain by trying to be at the front, aside from winning the race and a couple of points.
Is Noah Gragson still in the race?
Don't think so. Haven't seen him out there in a minute, but it's also possible that he's just riding around at the very back of the field.
Oh, fuck. No, don't do that.
So here we go. Let's see. Cindric getting to the back bumper. We got a lot of momentum.
I don't like this.
Allmendinger in the middle of the track. Oh, somebody else in the middle of the track. They are very much packed up right on top of each other in that inside line with 3 Toyotas.
Yeah, they just handed the race to Denny.
Yep, so that top 3 is now pretty much going to just control the end of this race with 2 laps to go. Hamlin, Bell, Nemechek, all just making their way around here. And let's see. You know, say Kasgrala trying to make a pass on McLeod for the spot in the 500 here. As we got 2 laps to go in the race, about a lap and a half now. Just over 3 miles, under 3 miles to go now in the race. And I don't know if I see anybody really being able to get past Hamlin at this point. As they got 1 lap to go here. Do we see Nemechek or any of those 3 pull out of line, do you think? Well, you probably already have seen some of it. Okay, Nemechek's blocked in. Then we got Bell up to the top to try and block. And Hamlin up top to try and match him. And Bell down to... Oh, Bell's going to make a move here. Yep. There we go. Christopher Bell down the back straightaway. And Bell's got the momentum. Is Bell going to be able to hold on to win this one? Let's see. And then Cindric and Burton going at it in behind there. But it looks like Christopher Bell is going to be uncontested here off of turn 4. And it's going to be... Oh, no. Cindric's going to look high, look low, but not going to be able to get there. And, oh, no. BJ McLeod got boxed out. And kasgrala is going to make the Daytona 500 by racing his way in. And BJ McLeod is going to miss out by 2 spots.
Toyota won both of the races after being shitty in qualifying.
Yep. Christopher Bell, Austin Cindric, Denny Hamlin, John Hunter Nemechek, and Harrison Burton, your top 5. Zane Smith, Keselowski, William Byron, Chase Briscoe, and Justin Haley rounding out your top 10. So I'm assuming Jamie just had to go be a parent or something, because, he disappeared.
The, Bubba was not happy at all after that wreck. This isn't something that he was talking about at the end of the race. But he was saying that they put themselves in they got themselves into exactly what they wanted to avoid by pitting when they did.
Yep. Well, the good thing is at least McDowell's car is good, so McDowell still starts second on the field for Sunday's Daytona 500, which will probably end up becoming Monday's Daytona 500, which might become Monday night's Daytona 500, it sounds like, due to the weather forecast. Still hoping for Sunday, though.
Let's hope they don't push it to next Thursday.
They won't push it that late, I don't think, because they got to get to Atlanta, which also has weather concerns next week, too. Not sure if
they could drive from Daytona to Atlanta in a couple days.
Yeah, well, supposedly Atlanta's got weather issues that following week.
Why does NASCAR keep scheduling this rain around their races?
Well, maybe the races should look less like parade and not invite the rain. So there we go. So yeah, just watching this replay once again, and yeah, BJ McLeod just got boxed out and couldn't get to the back bumper of kasgrala's car there in time to make the pass for the lead.
Well, I don't need my radio anymore, so I can look back at the YouTube chat.
Yep.
I just gotta find it first.
You shouldn't have to scroll too far.
I don't care about Sirius XM radio.
But yep, there we go. Christopher Bell hands off the checkered flag to a fan in the stands, and they're talking with Christopher Bell. Bubba Wallace came home 11th at the end of that race, so at the very least they got something out of it.
Could have been a lot worse.
Yep.
No, he's not far off.
Okay.
They get bonus points. Yeah, he's right that they get he's wrong that the top 8 get points in each one. It's the top 8 and the top 6 and the top 4.
Yeah.
You get bonus points, and then if 3 separate drivers win the 3 rounds, those 3 lock in, and the 4th driver in the final 4 for the championship round is the highest person not locked in on points.
Yeah.
If one person wins all 3 rounds, then the top 3 not locked in on points after the reset get it.
Yeah.
So bonus points are very important.
All right. Well, that was a nice explanation of the Thomas Cup Series format, but
Yeah.
the grid is set for the Daytona 500. We now know that kasgrala and Jimmie Johnson will be a part of it, and unfortunately, BJ McLeod and JJ Yaley will miss out on the Daytona 500 this year. I don't think there's really much surprise that those two are the ones going home. I think the bigger surprise was how competitive BJ McLeod looked in this race.
Kasgrala seems like a guy that kind of just became a NASCAR driver, and everybody's like, huh, okay, he can stay.
I mean, hey, that top 5, top 6 at Daytona Road Course a couple years ago when he filled in for a sick Austin Dillon. That was kind of a big race that kind of put him on my radar. But yep, showing some highlights from Tyler Reddick celebrating in victory lane there from Duel 1, and then Christopher Bell celebrating on the track. But I think that's pretty much everything. So thank you for
That closes it out.
Yeah, thank you to you and Jamie for joining in for the duel number 2.
Yeah.
And thank you to everybody else who tuned in throughout the evening to Duel 1 and 2. Ultimately, it looks like Kyle Busch ended up being the person that we thought was going to win the race, but ultimately he got collected in that wreck that nobody could have expected there. So,
are there any points on wins? There are 3 bonus in the driver championship, which is the one that really matters for the drivers. There are 3 bonus points for wins, poles, sprint wins, and halfway wins. And you keep all those bonus points for those the entire season, including after resets, including in the the championship round.
So they're essentially playoff points, for lack of a better term.
In not so many words, yeah. And then when you get the final reset, everybody doesn't reset flat.
Yeah, no, it's a staggered reset.
They keep those.
So, all right, well, have a great night. I'm sure we'll talk again sometime between now and next Wednesday when we're on or actually, you're not on the podcast next week, but I'm sure we'll talk sometime between now and next Thursday when we race.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll share some notes from my Richmond notebook, maybe.
Yeah, I hope so.
It's kind of a blank notebook because it's a next-gen car that I haven't driven before, but...
And we have not raced at Richmond, we didn't race at Richmond in the off-season series.
Yeah.
I have had no practice at Richmond in this car.
Yeah, I've never turned laps either.
I don't know if anybody has.
Yeah, might have to ask around for a notebook about that, but...
Maybe.
Yep. All right, well, have a great night, and I will talk to you whenever I talk to you next. And real quick, I just wanted to say a big thank you again to everybody that tuned in throughout the night. If you guys did enjoy, hit the like button and subscribe if you guys are new so you guys don't miss any future videos or live streams. Again, I'm not gonna have a race reaction to the duels out tonight, just because I've already reacted here on the stream. But if you guys want to hear any further thoughts about the duel results, tune in tomorrow morning to Truck Series qualifying, where I will be streaming that. Let me get the exact time slot so I don't mislead you guys. Let's see, weekend schedule. So, qualifying for the trucks is 3 p.m. So 3 p.m. tomorrow afternoon, I'll be streaming truck qualifying. Then after truck qualifying, I will be posting my my Fantasy Friday video for any of you guys who are interested in NASCAR Fantasy. I have a fantasy league that I will be covering throughout the NASCAR season. But yeah, so that's pretty much everything though. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys next video. Live stream, whatever you guys had to do with the rest of your night. Have a great night, everybody, and